Hello, hello, everybody. Welcome back to Reality Realnesss with 3 S's. I'm your host, Chappell Francis, here in morning with my co-host, Chappell, to talk about episodes 1, 2, and 3 of the Traitors, season 4. Chappell, how are you doing?
Not great. It's not great. It's not great. What are you gonna do? Look. I personally don't even listen. I said this before. It's not my favorite show in the world, and I don't think I've hated something as much as I hated the experience of watching 3 episodes back to back. What a journey we were on this season, Chantel. It just started, and it just effing started.
Yeah, and this is the thing, is that we were so excited when we thought that Rob was going to be on season 50. Like it just seemed like it made sense. He'd been working really well with Jeff Probst and like doing like viewing parties and stuff like that. So it seemed like he was in the good graces of the producers of Survivor. So we thought like, oh my God, that'd be amazing if he came back for 50. Like he would be a perfect casting for 50. And then he doesn't get on 50. And we're like, what the F? But then, like, a couple days later, we find out that he's going to be on the Traitors. We're like, even better. The Traitors know what they're doing. You know, yeah, Peacock is where it's at this point. And then they still mucked it up.
I shouldn't even be allowed to talk about this because I'm so angry. Yeah.
Well, it's on my channel, so it's not.
I know, but I'm just so oblivious. You know, like I'm so mad. Like I said, I never liked this show anyway, and so I had to kind of reason in my head, like, no, this is good. This is better. This is better. And I mean, I just could not be madder, you know, like I don't know. So yeah, it's been what a roller coaster, right? Very proud of the time that we got to spend with the Podfather, but you know, here we are. It was short-lived, and now we have to talk about an entire season of people who I don't know, Chantel. I think for the first time in the Traitors history, internationally, I'm rooting for the Faithfuls. It's never happened before. I've never done that before. This is new.
Okay, so who on the Faithfuls are you rooting for specifically then?
Anybody but the Traitors at this point. I the blood feud that I have with them for you know what I'm saying? Like, and I'm not even saying it was the wrong move, but for me and for my life and my house, they have to lose.
Now, we were excited before that Lisa Rinna and Rob knew each other. So how do you feel about their friendship potentially now?
You know, like I said, strategically, there's some like I don't know, you know, like I don't fault. Listen, if I'm ranking the people who are at fault here, she's number 2, 3, maybe in the ranking. But there are other people who I'm madder at than her. So, you know, I don't know.
Who's number 1? Just say it. Just say who's number 1 the most mad at?
Miss Donna. Lady, how dare you? How dare you? You know, but no, seriously. Yeah, I'm not a fan that this happened. But maybe Rob has made some friends. I would love to see that he's made some friends and that maybe we can carry this momentum. Because one thing I have noticed is that the people are very, very sad to see him go. I think there was what a glowing edit as well. And so I really feel like this could only be good. I feel like his experience was not great. You know, like I would have loved a different outcome. But as far as like some momentum going, I mean, like, I don't know if anybody has gotten a better exit from the show.
Now, do you think he might pull a Dorinda and be called back for another season?
No, he shouldn't go back. No, don't go back. I don't like that. I don't go where people don't want me. You know what I'm saying? Like, because they should have picked him as a traitor in the first place.
I thought that he was going to be the secret traitor, right? Because that would make the most sense, right?
I mean, initially, yeah, until I saw the short list and I was like, well,
the short list.
Yeah, once I saw the short list, I was like, I want him. And so, but yeah, no, I don't want him to go back. I don't, because I don't like the game anyway. The game sucks. It can happen. This could happen all over again. You know what I'm saying? Like,
I know.
This is one of the few, like I said, it's one of those things that is not in your power in a lot of ways. It's the reason why I don't really care for it too much, is because there's so many variables that are just like, so you woke up and sat in the wrong chair today. I guess it's your day. You know what I'm saying? You happen to be somebody who the Swifties didn't know. You know what I'm saying? I don't know. So for me, I go do something else. I think we can use the momentum to get us to bigger and better things.
So I wonder remember Parvati was teasing the fact that she has like a new show concept that she's working on. I think her and Rob, Boston Rob. So maybe that will be something. Like hopefully that's like a good concept that like we can sink our teeth into, because I'm just mad at the Traitors. They really mucked up my enjoyment of the show.
Yeah, but like just from a TV perspective, I really do think that I think that there was not one negative thing said about him in the entire time that we were watching the show, and I think that is complete stark contrast to the last time he was on TV. Right, the last time in Survivor the All Stars, he was like, "Oh, he's lazy. He's the Rob that sucks." Blah 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 blah. And now this is like people were like, "This is the mastermind. This man won." And Survivor was like, "He did not win Survivor." They're like, "He won. He
do you
did."
think they think that he's Boston Rob? Like, because
no, I think they just. I think his lore is just bigger than him, and I think that's good. I think that's good. It's bad for this game, but I think for us, people who work alongside him, colleagues, employees of him, and even just people who want to see him do well, I think that like people who don't know him are going to walk away from watching this show thinking like, oh, well, they had to get that guy out. He was way too smart, And I think that's a perfect like reputation to have.
Yeah, yes, of course, it's a reputation that you want to have. But when you don't have anybody that's a gamer in the turret whatsoever looking out for your best interests, I think that is where the game is flawed. So that it's kind of like the show overcorrected, because last year, like they had 2 gamers and they were all kind of fighting, and like they weren't able to work together. And now they have no gamers, and so there's nobody saying like, no, I don't want to get rid of one of the gamers because it looks sus or whatever it is.
Mm-hmm. Well, last season there were 3 gamers. There were 3 gamers, and that's the part that people have forgotten.
Right, at the same time.
Yeah, there were 3. There were so many of them, right? And so they did correct by putting a couple housewives in there, and then DK on the outside as well. But I do think I feel like the Secret Traitor twist works better if you have like maybe in the turret you have the housewives, but then on the outside you have a gamer, and then that way neither side is OP, right? Like the housewives can't pick up all the gamers because they don't. The short list probably won't have the gamers on it, and then the gamers can't pick up all the housewives because the housewives get to choose which ones that they go. And I think that instills a little bit more drama too, right? Like if let's say a gamer was the Secret Traitor, right? And you have Rob on the outside saying like, okay, I want all the housewives up for banishment. I want Lisa Rinna up there, I want Candace up there, and I want pick out like, oh, Caroline, right? Let's say we do that. Well, obviously Lisa Rinna and Candace aren't going to pick themselves, so Caroline can go. You right? And so it's kind of like it makes the choices a little bit more interesting, right? So I feel like something like that. Like I think if you're going to do it, you want to balance them out a little bit more, as opposed to just like, okay, we have to have a mixture of housewives and gamers inside the turret. Maybe even going as far as like maybe just picking all like anybody who doesn't fall in those categories, right? There are so many people who were not either a housewife or a gamer that could have gone in those positions, and maybe that'd have been a little bit more interesting. But I do think that after last season, they did have to throw the housewives a bone because they just didn't stand a chance when it came to making decisions in the house.
But make it mixed. It shouldn't be so heavily weighted. Like I would have loved if it was.
You ain't say that last season.
Did I?
No, nobody did. That's what I'm saying. We only complaining because it's us. We're the gamers, so we are being targeted. But last season, the housewives were completely outmatched.
I wouldn't have been mad though if there was a housewife in there instead of one of the 3 gamers. Like I wouldn't have been like, oh, that's awful. I didn't complain because they're boring. Right? I didn't care to see what they were gonna do, right? Look at like Dolores got to the end and ended up winning, and I like Dolores on her seasons of New Jersey, but like she didn't really do anything for me in the game, so she could go. Yeah, right.
But these housewives are not this. They're not. This is not Dolores, right? Like this is not Dolores. It's not Robin. These housewives got some teeth. Fun. You know what I'm saying? Like I feel like let's say you had taken Rob R out and put in Dorinda. I still think you get some good TV. No,
I think you do get good TV. But you still get Rob likely going quickly.
Anytime the housewives are making the decisions here, the gamers are probably the ones that are probably going to get targeted. But also the short list really does just stifle the opportunity. Because let's say they wanted to target somebody outside of that, we'll never know. Because Donna is the one who gets to decide who's even up for banishment, up to be murdered, And so because of that, I really don't think that they really gave them a lot of wiggle room. So it's like on the one hand, it was very housewife heavy. On the other hand, the short list really eliminated a lot of the other options. And honestly, although I hated to see it happen, I think the two people who were murdered were the best choices. They were
For
clear in a way
them,
the best choices. I mean, yeah,
yes.
except for everybody not a gamer, you know?
No, for entertainment though, because I think that like having some pushback. I think the fact that we'll talk about it obviously through, but like how Rob was able to figure out that okay, there's a murder in plain sight. Like
Mhm.
that should throw a wrench in the game, and
Yeah.
that makes things exciting. Like, oh my god, are they gonna get caught? Like, are they gonna like? I want to see the would you, won't you? Like are you
Yeah.
gonna get away with it? And so now, like all those opportunities are really gonna disappear.
Yeah. Oh, for sure. But look, that's what happens when the traitors are making the correct decision. You know what I'm saying? Like the traitors, if the traitors were like, who should we eliminate? Mark Ballas or Ian? I think we'll get rid of Mark Ballas. Okay, all right. That's when people you're gonna get some fireworks because these people are doing crazy things, you know. But let's be clear. They had to get rid of the mastermind. It made sense to get rid of the mastermind from a show perspective. Yeah, it sucked for us and it shows for TV because you're not going to get those pushbacks from the people. But like you want people to play the game well, but you want there to be some drama. And I feel like the show lacks balance right now. Right? We have people who are playing the game well, and there's not a lot of drama.
What if I think that maybe what they need to do to fix this is maybe like how there's the shield for the murder to maybe there be some sort of prevent from being there's a shield okay, I guess there should have been a shield there, but I guess it wasn't a banishment, so never mind, take it away. But wasn't there not a shield in play at that particular round?
Two people had a shield at that point. I believe it was Jam and another guy.
From sitting
Yeah.
on the throne thing. Right, there's
Yeah.
3 shields
Yeah.
that were out, so yeah, it was Jam
Yeah.
Jam,
And
Colton,
Colton and
and
Kristen No,
and
not Kristen. Who was
not
the
Kristen.
last one? I don't remember.
Someone
But yes.
small. It might have been it was Lisa, I think.
Oh,
Lisa
it
had
was
it.
Caroline. It was
Oh,
Caroline.
it was
Yeah,
Caroline?
because she made it across they pulled her across. Jam Jam ends up telling Mora to get up, and Colton ended up telling Lisa Rinna to get up, leaving
Oh,
Caroline the third person who got the shield. But my point here is that like the issue is not the lack of shield. The issue is the murder in plain sight. In the past, when you murder somebody in plain sight, they have to do something to get murdered. They have to drink from something, right? We saw Dorinda take a sip from the chalice. You know, like those things is what get you murdered in plain sight. Rob didn't do anything to
yeah.
get murdered in plain sight. He did not. He actually saw the conga line, ran from it, knew not to do anything weird, and should have survived that interaction. Had he been told to do something weird, he wouldn't have done it. Thus, he would have survived. But this is different. The rules are normally not like this. All they had to do was burn a card. It had nothing to do with Rob. That was just the people on the list. And I do believe that of the people on the list, it would have been crazy to let him survive. It's just that there shouldn't have been a short list that required him to be one of the few options. And they should have had to make him do something in order to get murdered. I don't believe
Absolutely.
that him just being in the castle
And having a
while they get
card
there.
in a box, like, yeah.
Right. That's not because he didn't do anything. He didn't do anything to cause that, which is why I have a huge issue with the game.
Yes. Okay, let's talk about these episodes. We'll still be probably furious along the way. The first episode is called Let the Cards Fall As They Will. In the beginning, they're all coming in their cars, which I do like. I do find it exciting seeing them
Mhm.
all together, all these celebrities that you'd never really see together before. And Steven from Laguna Beach seems to know that Jam Jam won Survivor. Now, do you think it was previous conversation that they had, or do you think he's a fan or that he watches the show?
I think that people did research. I have reason to believe that they weren't totally shocked at who they were seeing. Like I feel like, we were announced the cast, but I'm not sure that they didn't know who the cast was as they were approaching the castle. Because there was a lot of people who seemed to have the dossier on everybody who was coming up. Like Steven knew about Jam Jam. I think at one point I think it's Caroline who's like, all right, look, you got to watch Rob R. We need him. He's
Yes,
like
we
the
need
mastermind.
him.
Right. And I'm like, okay, if you know Rob, then yeah, you probably do know you need him. But she didn't look at him as a threat. She thought he is an asset, And so that's when I'm like, I don't know if she watched Survivor or if she just heard about it. I feel like some people did their research.
Okay. I mean, I definitely agree that I was so happy that Carolyn was saying like, "Oh, I want to work with him. Like, I want him to help us here." I was like, I thought that was going to be hopeful for Rob's game, is that these housewives are going to want to work with him. But Nope. We got the secret traitor twist. What did we think of this twist? Obviously, we had an idea it was coming. It does seem we're doing a little bit of a cut and paste for what they have been doing for the UK version. Pretty similar games that's been happening. But what did you think about this new twist where basically they are...
Well, I was gonna say, when you explained to me, because you were the one who told me about the secret traitor twist in the UK version, but from what I understand, in the UK version, the secret traitor knows who the traitors are.
Yes.
This time around, the secret traitor does not know who the traitors are. The traitors could end up on the secret traitor's shortlist, and I thought that's a game flaw. The fact that, you know, like, I don't know if they just didn't think that far through it, or like, what are the odds that she picks all of them? But seriously, like, I don't know. I guess the shortlist has 4 people on it at least, right? So, in the first time there was a shortlist, Rob R's name popped up, and I was shocked. I was like, "Wait, why would you pick Rob R? You know he's a traitor." It's like, "Oh wait, you don't know." And so it's a little different than it was prior to this. And so I'm happy that they are trying new things to keep the game spicy. But I don't know how I feel about that. I kind of questions about whether or not, like, I don't know. I don't know how I feel about the traitors being on the short list to kill, because then at that point, you know, you can't kill them. I don't know. What do you think?
I definitely... Well, I don't love... The secret traitors is okay. It's okay. Trying something different, cool. But I do think it works better with the secret traitor knowing who the traitors are. So, like, that they can kind of be... They can put themselves in a position where they can get a little bit of help, or they can get a little... Like, if the regular traders, they know who, or they don't know, but like they are trying to figure out who it is, and by who was being put on the short list, they can kind of get an idea, so that maybe they can help out Miss Donna. Like, they need to help her out, or she can get rid of one of the traitors. Like, she can kind of like lean towards, I don't know, getting one of the traitors out just by, like, because she knows who they are. And what ends up happening, spoiler alert, is that once somebody was eliminated from the regular traitors, then the secret traitor got to join that group, and it became just a regular traitor. So I think that would have been a better route for Miss Donna, instead of, you know, how things happen these 3 episodes. So yeah, it needs to be workshopped.
I don't know. So for me, not knowing who the traitors are, right? For someone like Donna, let's move Donna out of this conversation. Let's say, like, I really like to look at it as if it was like a gamer versus, like, you know, the housewives or whatever. But like, I feel like once you hear the shortlist, right? If I'm in the turret, I know there is a secret traitor, but I don't know who it is. I can use the shortlist to try to deduce who the traitor is, right? I think as the secret traitor, you also could do that thing, right? Like, if you were putting up these 3 people, and then you put up a 4th person, and the 4th person goes, and then you put up those 3 people again, and the 4th person goes, or you put up all housewives and a gamer, and one gamer goes, and the gamer goes, not the housewife. You, like, I think for that way, that person does also have the opportunity to try to do that. But I think for me, the biggest issue with the traitors is that the traitor role is OP, right? It's so overpowered. They basically survive, at least they have less, like, what, about 50% of the other, like, opportunities to go home than the main people, right? So this kind of limits their absolute power of all they gotta do is make it to the night and then vote somebody out. This also incentivizes them to play a little bit more social as well, because now let's say they do find out that there is, like, Donna Kelsey is the secret traitor. You can't get her out because you have to now go put sus on her, right? Like, you have to go actively play to, you know, socially, to go and, like, maneuver to put these people out. Even, let's say, like, again, I love this idea that, like, there should have been a gamer, right? So if a gamer says, all right, I want the housewives out, I'm gonna just keep putting the housewives on the short list.
Yeah, you figure it out.
The housewives are in the turret being like, all right, well, it's clearly a gamer coming for us, but we can't murder them. So now we have to take other avenues to get them out, right? We can't figure out which one it is. We can't just go and pick out the people, I guess, that are the biggest threats. I like being able to limit that amount of power from the traitors. So it doesn't bother me as much. I really just think it was this configuration of people that was always going to be bad for the gamers.
True. How'd you like those? So the new way that they were determining one of the traitors, it ended up being the secret traitor was determined this way, was that they had we had Alan, we had him standing in his fabulous outfit, he had a box. Each box either had nothing in it, or it had a card that said you're a traitor, or whatever the card said. Did you like this new game mechanic on how to share who's a new traitor?
I don't hate it, but at the same time, from, like, a TV standpoint, couldn't we be doing something else? You know, like, that's like 10 minutes of our day was spent, like, going, like, Okay, your turn. Look around. Okay, your turn. We get like a little bits and pieces about how people felt about each other. But it did lead to some minor nonsense, such as Candace being like, "Hey, we should try to figure out who the secret traitor is right now. I think it's Lisa Rinna." Like, girl, what? She had put sus on her before she even knew who she was. Now that she did that after they determined who the real traitors were too. So you didn't necessarily need that. But I feel like for it to take like 7 minutes of the show, we really could have been doing something else. I feel like we spent so much time in the traitors doing stuff that doesn't have anything to do with finding the traitors. The challenges are way too long and drawn out and blah blah blah. But like the like stand there and who knows, right? Maybe what if somebody did have a big reaction or a big facial expression or something like that that would have led people to some drama. But this time around, there was nothing. It was just stand there, kind of have your moment in the sun, keep your poker face, go back. So it doesn't help that they don't have anything to judge it based on either. Like there's no baseline. I think it was Mora who was like, I don't know any of y'all. So like when I was looking at your faces, what was I supposed to take from that?
Exactly.
Yeah, Michael Rappaport's grinning from ear to ear, and Tiffany goes, "Does he always smile like that?" Which is a great question because it's like, is he abnormally happy, or is he, or is this just him? I think it's just like crazy for suspense, but that's all. It's just suspense.
Yeah, totally. So we get back obviously into the manor, and they do a little bit of chit chatting, but then they obviously get to the round table where the regular selection of the traitors are happening, and we learn that's going to be Lisa Rinna, Candace, and Rob R from Love Island. What do you think?
Were you disgusted? Were you disgusted, Chantel? I have to cut in here. How do you feel when you saw that was the third and final traitor?
I found him to be very boring, right? Like I don't think that he's that attractive. Like people are so like, oh my god, he's so hot. Like maybe in person he has an allure that like it doesn't translate for me across the street, but like he is not a person that I want to watch this entire season where it revolves around him. I don't want him to be the star of the season. I think any other person I would have probably rather be in that role over Rob R.
Yeah,
like anyone, actually anyone.
You're like even
Michael Rappaport. Even Michael Rappaport. I would rather Michael Rappaport be the third traitor over Rob R.
I cannot relate. I wanted him. I want that man dead. I'm sorry, in the game. I want him out of the game very soon, and I would have needed him to be a faithful. But Rob R, to your point, he is very low on my list of people who I would have loved to see in that role. When picking Robs, how did they get the role? Come on. You could have had it been Candace, Lisa Rinna, and Rob Cesternino in there, we would be screaming. It would have been crazy. And instead, you catered to the Love Island crowd. The Peacock people got all the love here. Both the housewives and Rob R. I just feel like maybe Survivor's on the wrong network.
Well, definitely. Like it is a CBS show, right? And this is an NBC game show. And so, season 7 was a very popular season of Love Island. Sorry, season 6 was a very popular season of Love Island. And he was also on season 5. So somebody at Peacock loves him. They love him. He was a bombshell from Casa Amor. He didn't end up getting into the villa because like the girl that he was talking to went back to her old guy. And then they brought him back again to be starting lineup for season 6. He had a pretty long stay, but like he didn't make it to the end. I think that somebody wants to bang him at Peacock and they want him in that damn turret.
You're like, that's all I got.
I mean, someone has to want to bang him, right?
I don't know. Not for me. But like, it's very interesting because like of all 3 of the picks for the traitors, he's obviously like he's last for me of the 3 of them. But he's not doing a bad job as a traitor. He's just boring.
He's so boring. He's so boring, and he just is like making a look at people and like, oh, like I don't know. He just doesn't do anything for me. He's not doing a bad job. Absolutely. He's playing it as like a traitor would, kind of being a little bit quiet. Don't say too much. Don't do too much. Like, okay, you're a great traitor. Yeah. Sure. You're fucking boring.
Yeah. Boring. very Dan Giesling as a traitor. You know, like Dan Giesling's not a
I think
boring
he's
Big
better
Brother
than
player.
Like, oh Lord.
No, I'm not saying like strategy wise, but I'm talking about just like television wise. Like Dan was giving us nothing because he was just being Dan, right? Like quiet and kind of observing and this and other. Eventually, he does kind of go off the rails, but just like it's like watching someone play a really good Trader game without any like drama is boring. You know, I think that you need the drama. I think for Sari, you know, we had Sari versus Cody, and she like figures that out. You know, she got her best friends, Rachel and Stephanie LaGrossa, who she's known for 20 years, like, you know, like chirping at her and stuff like that. And she's navigating them, and then she's like corralling all these faithfuls, these civilians. Like it was an exciting game, like the whole story. But I definitely think there are just some people who come in as traders and they're like, I'm going to be quiet. And if I'm quiet, people will leave me alone. And Rob R is a quiet person. Like when they did the personality assessments for who we should put in this role, he had to be least exciting person on the cast for sure.
Well, and did you wonder if maybe, or maybe he wasn't available, I can't remember right now, that she wanted to put Rob R again, but she just made a mistake with the last initial, because she like, you know, with like the short list, you know, because
The
she
short
had
list,
Donna had put a Rob R beforehand. Remember, we're just like, oh, that's weird that he had put, like, why was it available that they're able to put a traitor in it, but as you said, it was because she doesn't know who they are. So maybe she made a mistake and she meant to put Rob R again instead of like giving up some more information of who the secret traitor is. Maybe.
No, I don't think she cared. I don't think she cared. To me, her short list comes down to she watches the Housewives franchise, and so she's not going to put up any housewives. And so, because if you notice, she doesn't repeat anybody. But
well,
there's
not
not
a many women, to be fair. Well, not many women.
I would say she picked women. She just didn't pick any housewives. Most of the women are housewives.
That's true. Oh yeah, she just picked Kristen for the last one and Tara.
She picked Tara as well. Yeah.
The other time, and Monet. Now, okay, I just have one little thing to interject here. In her starting card, because usually in the starting vehicles, you make like a pact of some sort, like, hey, let's like, regardless, let's like keep each other safe for a little while, whatever. So Miss Donna was with Rob Sesternino and Monet, and I can't even remember the last person that she's in the car with. And she put two of those on her damn short list the last time around.
Yeah, that's tough.
No loyalty.
No loyalty at all. I feel like if you're a traitor, are you loyal to anybody at that point? Especially if you're Donna, right? Like Donna has no other connections in the cast except for Ron Funches once did a podcast with her son, and Ron will never let us forget it. And so like I don't know. Do you have a certain level of loyalty, or are you just saying whatever you like? Are you just yes manning everybody? Like, what if somebody say like, okay, it's our alliance? What are you gonna say? Like, nah, I'm good. I'm not really loyal to the car. Like you're Donna Kelsey. You don't. Who else are you going to turn to? Now, I do think that I guess a couple days in, once you decide, like you're looking around, you're like, these people ain't really got my back. I think at that point you can put them on a short list.
Well, okay, I would think, because she does mention that her son was the one that got her into the show. They started binging everything, and you know, if you want to play the game, some of the game is about making alliances and working together, working with people, and making friendships and protecting each other. And so, I would think that she would want to do that, because I think that if she did do that and like kind of built a bit of a friendship, a little bit of an alliance, especially with her car group, that when she became the traitor, she would have some people that she could go back and chat with and being like, okay, guys, car group, like what should we do? Have you noticed anything? Like she would have somebody to game with, which I think would allow her to cover a little bit more. The fact that she knew nobody, she wasn't really great at interacting and making friends with everybody. All she was saying is like, oh my God, I'm starstruck, when she's met real celebrities before. It's like, I just don't think she gave herself as much as she could that would help her do well in this game.
Oh yeah, she was a bad trader. She was not good at this at all. You know, it seems like the only real connection she made were Ron Funches and Michael Rappaport. It also looks like maybe her and Dorinda were cool, but for the most part, we don't really see her giving a lot of like. There's not a lot of people saying like, "Oh, me and Donna connected a lot." You know, like there are people who are like, "We're afraid of the Swifties." Colton, Ron Funches. You know, like okay, fine. Even Dorinda to a point, I think said it at one point, but like no one was really being like, you know what? I met this Donna Kelsey lady and she's great. It was more like, I love her. I love her because she's Taylor Swift's mother-in-law in the future. And she's got raised two great boys. Like, I don't know. And the show is heavily edited, you know, as we know. So maybe people were ranting and raving about how much they loved her, but it wasn't enough for them to not immediately turn against her the first chance they got.
Yeah. Yeah, she wasn't great. Michael is also saying mathematically there has to be, that there's 5 housewives and 5 gamers, so there's going to have to be a mix. And I was like, you would think so, but no, mathematically you are incorrect, Michael Rappaport, which is really frustrating.
Yeah, I mean, and also Michael Rappaport, why would you circle the gamers and the housewives up and say there's 5 of y'all and 5 of y'all? So it mathematically, it's one of y'all. You're like, you're neither one of those things, Michael Rappaport. So if that is the case, if you were correct, would we not now target you? Like, Tiffany said, like, oh, you're bad at this. You are bad at this game, and it is the case.
So now Candace says like that she thinks that Lisa Rinna could be a traitor. You mentioned this before. Like, why is she saying that as well? A, she shouldn't be targeting the housewives in general. B, she already knows that she is a traitor. So C, she should not be kind of naming anybody because she could be naming somebody that she's working with. What do you think was happening with this woman?
So she outlines her strategy as, I want to present myself as a faithful, so I'm going to act like a faithful would do. But I'm with you. This is bad. This is not good strategy. Because you could throw somebody under the bus, but not only did she throw somebody under the bus, she threw a housewife under the bus. To me, that's automatically suspicious. Anybody targeting somebody from their own show, unless y'all have or a franchise, unless y'all have a storied history where y'all don't like each other, I'm always going to look at you funny. So for her to come out the gate immediately and be like, I think Lisa could do this. Like, I don't trust that. I don't trust that, because at the very least, the two of you have a working relationship where you would think that person wouldn't kill or target you first. And so I don't know what the hell Candace was.
Yeah, I was just thinking. Well, she had to kind of, bring it back. So to get to the turret, Candace and Lisa have a little moment where they're just so excited to see each other in there screaming, and then Rob comes in all dramatically and takes off his thing, and the three of them meet up. And so Candace does let it out that, like, hey, yeah, I might have said your name, and she's like, you better walk that back, which she needs to. So at least she came clean with that. Do you think? Would you have come clean with that?
I mean, yes, because like, what if it gets back to her,
After
right?
the fact, it look bad.
Right after the fact. Like, I think this is the one time where you can come clean because it was so early on, right? It's like, I didn't even know it was you. So that was just me just talking. But at the same time, I wouldn't have put myself in that position, because why did you even mention Lisa Rinna? You could have put the sus on anybody. You could have been like, hey, I don't know. I think Tara
anybody.
Yeah, like, but Lisa is a big personality. I think Portia.
I actually do love her on this show.
Portia will at some point. Portia will at some point be like, don't target the big personalities, right? And that's where I be standing. Right, when we play games and stuff like that, I'm like, hey, when y'all talk about chaotic choices and all this other stuff, we gotta go. Don't cast me if I'm gonna be a problem just because I was chaotic, right? Like, you called me because I was chaotic. So for people like Lisa, for Portia, they're like, I'm a big personality. That's why you wanted me on the show, So like, don't immediately be like, I'm here now, I gotta go just because I'm a big personality. It's not my fault. They called me. So yeah, I think that now is the time to run it back and then try to start from scratch. And even if it's you can even be like, hey, I was looking at Lisa and I've been watching her and I don't think so. Like, I know I was sus at her, because I think like if it's a person who puts the sus out there, who brings it back, I think it's a lot more trustworthy, right? Because it's like, okay, well, it was your idea in the first place, and now you're running it back. I think somebody in the chat said that Donna was not cleared for the challenges. That's just not true. Donna was definitely in the boats.
But maybe she didn't want to do any more of the challenges because those are pretty grueling. And
she was in the boats. I don't remember her in the carriage challenge or whatever, but she was definitely in the boats.
Yeah, I don't remember her running with that at all. Besides, like, Natalie, like, yeah, right. So we get a knock at the turret. It's Alan. They're all wondering though who got the card, and none of them did. And so Alan kind of let them know that the secret traitor's identity will not be known to them. So that there's a fourth one working with them. So I do think it's good for the regular traders to have an extra piece of work to do, for the fact that, like, they don't just have all the information, all the power. Like, so I think it's good in that sense, but obviously I just don't know if I love this configuration. Blah blah blah.
Yeah, I'm with you. But you know what? I'll say this: I've been seeing the housewife fans online, the ones who the ones who are not gamer fans, the ones who came here for the Housewives, and they're loving it. I think people say like, I'm loving this season. It's so much fun, blah, blah. So I really just think it's where your loyalties lie. I think for the gamers, we love to see the back and forth. So for us, we're like, even out as much as you can and get the drama from that. But for the Housewives fans, they came here for the personalities. They came here for the Housewives, so it's like, they don't care how the game goes. They don't care if it's fair. They don't care if it's balanced. They don't care if it's drama. They want to see Lisa Rinna and Candace and all those other people on stage and on the screen. And so for them, they don't hate it as much as we do. I abhor this so much. I hate this.
Well, it's just that I like seeing good strategy, good gaming. I don't like things that are unfair. I want to see people use their intelligence to be able to do better in the game. Like that's stuff that I enjoy. I just don't. I watch all the franchises for sure, but I don't only enjoy drama. I want drama, but I want it also with strategy and actual game stuff. So I would have loved a mix. I just want a mix. I just want it to be fair. Okay, so the next morning there's a mission. There's 100 coffins. Only 12 have gold. They're worth $2,500 each. You have to tow each of these coffins to the graves. They don't know yet that these grave sites are that of their fellow house guests. Is that what we call them? Faithfuls, I guess. Supposed faithfuls. What do you think about this challenge? And like, do any of these people actually care about the money other than like maybe the people that didn't win their shows?
I don't think the money is a big driver. No, I'm with you on that one. I think, now, don't get me wrong. Rob, see? Even Rob R, I think,
like non-gamer or non-winners and housewives.
Honestly, even some of the winners, like, respectfully, Ian won Big Brother. He won Big Brother back when that was a lot of money. I think there are a few people, Maura, that could like use the money for sure, where it's like a driving force, right? But I do think most of them are very well off as far as like, or comfortable. I would say that. I won't speak on their pockets like that, but I would say they're comfortable. And so, I don't know if the money is a motivator, but I do think like at this point, it's all about the competition. It's all about winning.
Yeah, I guess it's about winning. Like, it's not even going to like a charity or anything like that. So I guess it's about winning the game and more exposure on, for your show. So they're kind of probably doing it for promo for whatever show or franchise that they're on. But like sometimes the money, they're like so excited for $2,500 for each coffin. It's like, do you care? I care, but do you care? I don't know if you really care that much.
Yeah, I don't think they care. And honestly, when it comes to the Traitors, I don't care about the money either, because the god awful truth is that the odds are you're not gonna make it to the end, and if you do, you gotta split it anyway. So like, what are you really doing? You're really breaking your back for the opportunity to split. Like, I forgot what season of the Traitors it was, but I was like, the prize money was so small. I was like, oh god, like what is like?
It was when Trishelle and
no, not the Traitors US. It was like New Zealand or something like that. I was like, oh well, y'all out here playing for fun.
Canada's was pretty small too. It was like 90 grand to split between.
There was one season where I think they offered somebody like $10,000 to just leave the game immediately out of the game. It was something like that, or like $5,000 to just leave, and they took off running to go get to the money, and the first person got there could take the money and go. And I remember in the moment thinking like, yeah, that's what you do. You take the money and you go, because it's a civilian season of international season of the Traitors that a lot of people aren't really going to watch or whatever. It's not like you're going to get skyrocketed to fame for your time on the Traitors. Take the money and go. By the end of this, you're probably going to have as much money as they're going to have, but if this is about screen time or fame or something like that, I think you try to soak up as much airtime as you can. Candace says it. The Traitors, it's called the Traitors. They're the main characters. And so by becoming the Traitors, it's the first step in making this show about you. And that's the goal.
Was there anything that you liked about this particular mission? Like, I know the missions don't really matter or care. This one, though, apparently, so if they got all the coffins that they put into graves, they have the names on them, and those are going to be people that are going to be up for murder. Did you like this aspect? How did you feel about this?
I like that they gamed it. And I like that we got, obviously, I like that we got good content from Rob here, where he's like, let's stop down and talk about what we're going to do. We see Natalie will make some quick choices here that kind of allow them to align with the other boats. We'll see Jam Jam making some decisions that'll make them like realign with the other boats, but we definitely saw some strategy going into it. And these types of things can add a little bit of drama into the game. It might not necessarily change the outcome of who the traitors are if they get chosen, all this other stuff. But I do think they're like, maybe like like the stuff with Portia and Michael Rappaport, or even like people would say like Mark Ballas, I think called out like his casket was way at the other end, his grave was way at the other end. Oh, y'all went out y'all way to get me out. I think like things like that, if given the right situation, they can add some drama. So I didn't hate it.
Well, did you hate how Michael took it very personally that someone put a coffin or grave in his coffin or coffin in his grave?
I don't know, because that's him. You know what I'm saying? Like, I think that when you got certain people, they're gonna act how they act. I don't think anything he's done is out of the ordinary. I think that for him, I'm like, yeah, he gonna cuss and this, that, and other, but he'll be all right. He gonna live. I think if anything, people like Portia shouldn't be taking these things so personally. I expect more from like Portia than I do from Michael Rappaport. Portia's coffin, her thing didn't even make it into the grave, and she still was like, so what about who was trying to target me? And so I'm like, hey, that didn't matter. You know what I'm saying? It's a game, and maybe someone is trying to mark you for death. It's definitely a possibility, but I can't really fault them for taking personally, because Chantel, when that coffin went in that grave and it said Rob C, I about walked out. I was like, oh, y'all are trying me. Y'all are trying my patience. Because why is he on the short list already? Why is he? I mean, not the short list.
Well, actually, first though, they were going to do it, and then Candace stopped them from doing it, and they pushed it onto Donna's, which I was like, oh my god, yay! Okay, maybe he has a friend in Candace. That's great, Traitor Angel. And then it still happened.
It was effing Ron Funches who tried to put it in Rob's. So what happened was Ron Funches says, hey, let's just put it in a housewife like Portia. And then they're like, no, don't do that. And they're like, what about this person? Oh, Donna Kelsey. Candace says, let's about Donna, because she wants to take out Donna. She thinks it'll be iconic. It'll be a good move. And quite frankly, Donna is giving secret traitor. And so she's like, let's do Donna. And Ron goes, no, not Mama Kelsey. Oh my God, not my mama. That's my mom. I was like, Ron, please. And then he said, let's just do Rob C. And at that point, I was done. Everyone was dead to me. So I can't talk about them taking it personally, because I would have lost it.
Yes, you would have. Well, they end up, not getting into Portia's grave as the last one, which she did take a little bit personally there. But they got 9 graves, which is $22,500. So that means there's 9 people who are going to be risks of murder. So Ron, Rob R, Donna, Rob C, Mark, Dorinda, Ian, Michael, and Eric. It's actually mostly men here that were on the short list, which is interesting. Dorinda and Donna were the only women that were shortlisted here, or like they had graves.
Yeah. I think the most interesting thing about this is that Ron Funches is, I'm sorry, not Ron Funches, but Rob R. He is the one traitor who is on the potential list for murder as well, right? So, that's good for him for like being able to take that role and utilize it to kind of like, oh, well, why would anybody want to kill me? Oh my God, I'm so nervous, and really turning that up. And I think there were a couple of clips of him even saying like, oh my God, what if one of us is one of the, like just trying to seem as faithful as possible in that moment.
So rude, making them fill their own grave. Would you have been pissed if you had to put the dirt in your grave?
I've been so annoyed. Just because I know I'd have been hungry and I know they was at home eating. And, and then like people like Dorinda, we haven't really talked about her yet, but it's her second time, she's like, damn, they finna get me again. I really thought there was a small chance that maybe we could lose Dorinda twice. But then when I saw who was in the turret, I was like, she's not going nowhere. She's good.
Yeah, no.
And you have to believe that was done on purpose.
Dorinda, yeah.
Yes. Yeah. You have to believe that maybe that was done on purpose.
Anybody else that like any gamer would have seen the previous season and then be like, wouldn't it be funny to Francesca her? Just put her out twice at first. Yeah. So in the car, we hear Candace kind of throwing Michael under the bus, and this will come in useful later on. Because Portia decides when they get back to the manor to confront Michael, saying that like, hey, like you are targeting the housewives. That's why you were trying to put it into my grave. And so Michael is furious. He's like, I would never do that. I love the housewives. I'm an honorary housewife. So they go in, they confront Candace, and Candace does not even come like side with Portia at all. She's like, oh, I didn't say that. I was like, you said something like that. Not exactly that, but you said something.
She said exactly that. She said exactly that. She just straight lied. Candace gaslit the hell out of Portia. The problem here is Portia brings it up to Michael Rappaport. Michael Rappaport said, that wasn't me. And Ron Funches immediately says, nope, he didn't say that. And I'm like, because it was you. You said it. You said this. You said this. Say, but of course, he's not going to throw himself on the bus. So Portia's like, all right, well, let's go talk to Candace about it. They go talk to Candace about it. And Candace says, no, I said yesterday that he wanted to. I'm like, that's just not true. And poor Portia, you know, we love her. She fine as hell. And she's very funny. But you know, the lights be on and no one be in there sometime. And she's just like, oh, well, maybe I did misspeak. I do trust. I was like, no, trust you. And it didn't help that Maura was in the back seat. I don't know what happened. What you mean? You like, was right there.
Yeah, she was like, I have a really bad memory. I don't recall. What just happened?
Chappell, Maura would have sent me over the edge. I would have been banished immediately because I would have lost it. The one thing in my life that would drive me crazy, I hate being gaslit. I hate when somebody try to make me seem crazy because I know I can be crazy. So if you like got there before I have like Chappell, calm down, I will lose it. And so if I'm in the back seat, like if I was sitting next to you in the back seat and you, because it wasn't like she said it and Maura just overheard it. Maura was like, he's got it out for the housewife. Like she was in it. Don't wait till we get back to the castle and be like, I don't know about that. Because I'd have been like, Maura, you guilty. Michael, you guilty, and Candace, you guilty too, because y'all somebody lying, you know. So this would not have gone well for me. I felt so bad for Portia.
I felt bad for Portia as well because she wasn't want to come for Candace and be like and make it seem like she was saying more than she was. Maybe she did misspeak or whatever, or misunderstand what she had said, and so she was being quite gracious about it. She took it on the chin. I don't think I would be as gracious. I'd be closer to how you would have reacted, and I would have been like, I would have acted crazy. Yeah,
I'd have acted crazy. Yeah, I would have acted crazy. I would love.
Like I would have gone there. You know what I mean?
I would have loved to. I would love to present that like I would have been like, no, it's great. Like that's fine. But I wouldn't have. I'd have lost my mind. So Portia being able to compartmentalize is something that must be a strength of hers, to be able to say, I came in here planning to be loyal to the housewives, and I'm not going to let this potential misunderstanding throw that off. And I don't think Candace would throw that off. But Candace, she's been kind of playing a little reckless out here a little bit. She's very smart, but I'm questioning a lot of the things that she's doing strategically.
Yeah, and she's very cute too. Like I do enjoy her being cast as a traitor. Like I do like her. I just wish that there was a secret traitor that was a gamer, especially for so we get the turret short list. We have Rob R, which is the surprising one here. Ian, Mark, and Eric are on the short list. Now, obviously, because Ian's a gamer, likely he's going to be like, as soon as I saw the short list, I'd be like, Ian's the one that's going home for sure. Who would you have preferred instead if between, I guess, Mark and Eric?
It's tough because I like them all, right? And I think that's the word, like the rub is, right? Like I want Ian safe, obviously. But between Mark and Eric, I've been watching Mark on TV. I've been watching Dancing with the Stars since I was a kid, you know. So I was like, dang, I know Mark Ballas in my mind. And Eric, I just met him, and I kind of want to see him cook. And so I don't know, but at this point, it was like for me, anybody but Ian, and I was devastated.
Yeah, I mean, we knew it was going to be him. We see the handwriting. Was the handwriting giving you any hints as to who was the secret traitor here?
Hell no. What I was focused on was the list, because I was like, boom, there's no housewives up there. Ian's up there. So in my mind, Tiffany's not a traitor. Rob's not a traitor. Natalie's not a traitor. Jam's not a traitor. Immediately, I wrote them off. I was looking at some of the comments on the YouTube page, and people were like, I don't know. As episode 2, I thought Rob might be. I was like, you thought Rob put Ian Terry up to be murdered? Episode 1? You're crazy. I was like, so y'all ain't locked in. I immediately started thinking, okay, who would save? Who would be willing to sacrifice these people? And so I thought that is where you get the real information from if you're a traitor.
So it's like Ron Funches might have been an option. I don't know if they would give it to him. Maybe even Michael Rappaport. But it was the handwriting, though. It was like an interesting handwriting that was like masculine, but then had like curly ends. So it was interesting handwriting.
And I also want to point out that so many people mentioned Donna as a potential option for for a traitor. So many people did. There was the moment where Monet is talking to, I forget who she was talking to, and Monet and Jam Jam are talking, and they do their little like, oh hey, I love you, I'm a big fan of yours, and Jam Jam was like, how, like, I don't think the gamers are the issue, I think. And he points over and it's immediately Donna, right? So I think that the idea of Donna as a traitor makes so much sense from a TV standpoint, right? You did not bring this woman on for her to go home first. It seemed like Dreadful Ruby in the chat is saying it seemed obvious that production was going to pick Donna, and so many people sussed it out. Like, I think Tiffany says at one point, Tara Lipinski says at one point, it was just like this sweet older lady who is not connected to anybody. Why is she here? And if she is here, she has no cushion. She has no protection. You would want to do something to allow her to sit around, and you want to do a little fan service to this woman's massive fan base that she could have potentially with the interaction between the Swifties and even the football fans or the Kelseys, whatever the case may be. So for me, it was kind of like, how do I rule her out as a suspect? And that first shortlist did not rule her out as a suspect.
Yeah, for sure. Ron does think though that maybe Colton or Jam Jam might be a traitor here. I'm like,
which
okay.
Again, Jam Jam not putting up Ian, but okay, okay.
No, he's not. Okay, he's so not. Episode 2 is called the Death Conga. How do we feel about the conga line now?
Hey man, my boy made a conga line iconic. Because I think all of us like strategy heads are watching this at home like, now, why the hell would you randomly do a conga line in the middle of a castle with no music? Just, hey guys, a conga. Like, we're all like, nope, something's off. And so to hear Rob kind of vocalize that in the moment, we're like, it feels so vindicated because you're like, yes, exactly. Because this is what we think that we would be good at doing, right? We watch these shows, we pick up on these things all the time. We watch these things all the time. We expect other people to do it. And so for once to be like yelling at the screen, like, don't go to the conga line. And to see somebody actually be like, I shouldn't go to the conga line. It felt so good. So I think it's a good title for the episode.
The Death Conga. So episode 2, they're deliberating the short list, obviously, in the turret. First coming into breakfast is Lisa, Tiffany, Caroline, and Monet. They're retelling the drama of the Kitchuation.
Yes.
I like the name, the Kitchuation.
We love Kitchuation. Yeah, I was like, the branding on that is spot on. I love it.
Do you think that there'll be like a t-shirt line that Portia will knock out that says the Kitchuation?
No, I don't know, but I would wear a shirt that said the Kitchuation. You know how remember Mike from the Jersey Shore used to wear the Situation shirts?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, like I think I would have like the Kitchuation and point to my belly.
Absolutely. Next in is Portia, Steven, Kristen, and Johnny. Then Colton, Natalie, Jam Jam, Tara, and Candace. And then Dorinda comes in and everybody gives her applause. Were you annoyed with this? Are you happy?
No, because I was like, Rob! Dorinda came in with Rob. I was like, move, Dorinda, move.
Yeah. Ron and Rob and Donna came in after Dorinda.
It's like, girl, move out the way. That was
get out of here. Rob coming in. So Jam Jam thought that Rob's like our Rob was going to be like murdered potentially, that he's been so quiet as a mouse. I was actually pissed at Jam Jam for like pointing out that quiet as a mouse thing. I'm like, stop it. Like because Rob, Boston Rob did tell Rob that, hey, like just maybe this like lay low, like don't be too vocal too. So he might have been taking that into consideration. I don't think that, like, from how I know Rob, like he can be kind of quiet sometimes, you know what I mean? And so I didn't feel like he was acting completely out of the ordinary. But the fact that Jam Jam's calling him out, I'm like, you guys are in a secret alliance, Jam Jam. Like, what are you doing?
Yeah, I think it's tough for people who know these people from TV or from like podcasts or whatever, because we have like a vision of them for how they would act, and then when we get in front of them, they don't act the same. Like I'm with you. Like I was very surprised to see how like introverted Rob is, when in groups or whatever. But I get the same thing, like I very much will get to myself at functions and go stand outside and smoke or whatever and chill. I am a big personality on a podcast, but when I'm not, And yeah. I think for me, like I think it's jarring to people, right? And I think for Rob being known to be a podcaster and to be talkative, people are kind of looking to him to talk. And then when he's not, you're like, wait, is something wrong? But yeah, my issue with Jam Jam isn't so much the idea that Rob is like being quiet. It's that why are you saying this in front of other people? Like I'd have to pull him to the
Exactly,
side.
in front
I'd
of
be like, Jam, come on now.
company.
Yeah, like help me, throw me a bone. But Rob thinks that like at this point, that's suspicious behavior on Jam. He starts thinking he's a traitor.
Absolutely. It is suspicious behavior. He should be like not talking anything sus about fellow gamers in front of other people. It's just like you just don't do it. So Jam, I was wondering what was going on with him. Like, is he a traitor? Is he a secret? Like, he couldn't be a secret traitor, but like,
Some people still thought. I think even Tiffany was saying up until like the 3rd episode, like I think Jam is a secret traitor. I'm like, y'all, I like you have to be thinking very low of their gameplay to think that they would put out Ian Terry and then Rob says, Jam would do both of those. Like
no,
to me,
I
I'm
mean,
like, yeah. To me, I'm like,
I was just
like,
it would cross my mind that I'd like put all the facts in and be like, well, why is he playing so poorly?
I'd watch him. Yeah, I'd watch him for sure. But like I didn't think this was the best look, but I didn't think it was the worst.
Yeah.
I'm also very biased. I love Jam.
I know I do love Jam, like absolutely, but I was mad at him for like calling out Rob here, especially with the quiet thing. Because where was Miss Donna in this whole configuration? Because wasn't one of the reasons why she put Rob on the short list was because he was one of the quiet ones.
I wasn't listening to her. Like I said, once she. I wasn't listening. I wasn't listening to Donna. I was so annoyed when Rob was on that list. Like, the way I just like saw Red. It's on Twitch on the RJB Twitch stream, but Chantel for like 5 minutes. I don't even know if I mentioned the show. Like it was just playing in the background, and I was like, I can't believe this. I got up and walked off. I changed clothes. I had to put on my funeral blacks. So I don't know. It was a tough day.
Tough day. Last in is Eric, Ron R, obviously, or Rob R, Mark, and Michael. So then we see Ian get his letter, and he's like, "What? I don't like. I knew this was coming. If I'm on this, like, yeah, figured."
Tough,
like it
Ian,
so sucks though, eh? Like when you just have no way to protect yourself as a faithful, and so that's why. Like, if I know that you don't care for the game that much, but like I understand because you just don't have that much control as a player. I think I'd want to go on it just for the experience because it would be kind of fun. It'd be kind of like to dress up and be in a castle or whatever. Like that kind of part of it would be fun. But to actually think that you could win the game without being a traitor is like almost impossible. If you're a smart gamer, like you have to just be dumb, bad reads, like not actually onto the traitors whatsoever and be dragged to the end as a faithful is pretty much the only way that you can get to the end as a faithful. If you're good at all, you're done.
Yeah, it's tough. I mean, like I think Sandra probably did it the best, where she like actively was like trying to get to the end. She didn't care if it was a faithful or a traitor, right? She's like, I just need to get to the end, and then I'll start voting y'all out at that point. Like because that's the thing. If I can make it to the final banishment, as long as I keep voting y'all out, like as long as y'all don't vote me out, I don't care, And so I think like that's like the strategy that was working the best. I think the people like some people get, like you said, get dragged very far into the game because they're just so off base. Dylan Efron was like, Roston Rob and Danielle Reyes are my best friends. It's like, so he wins the game, Dolores also like, Danielle, I trust you with all my life and my soul, wins the game. We talked about Aaron from Love Island. He was on the Traitors and he won the game, but he was dead ass wrong pretty much every round. I think it's just like being wrong is almost like almost just as beneficial as being good.
So like if I were to play the game, would I have to be, and I was a faithful, would I have to be a faithful that faked being wrong, like just had just throughout the worst possible theories?
well, I mean, that's the thing is, if you are too loud about that, then obviously the faithful will turn on you at the
right? They'll be like, oh, you're a bad faithful.
You're a bad faithful. Right. I think this season we might get a chance to see somebody else really try to do something like that with like Tiffany Mitchell. She's latching on to Michael here. But the thing is, she's wrong. He is not a traitor, but maybe her proximity to him and being wrong about him being a traitor will save her. Like we just don't know. But I think once you're not a traitor, I think trying to be right is less important than just trying to survive. I think at that point you're in survival mode, and it means
bandwagon.
Go with the flow. Go with
but they also want you to throw out names, because if you don't throw out names and you're not like doing enough, like
you gotta pick your spots.
Yeah.
Like, was it Sheree who was on the first season or the second season who went very far, and we were like, Sheree's not giving us nothing, right? But at least she was there, like at least she was there. That's the goal, right?
yeah. She was so bad. So Tiffany
Yeah.
gives a little speech about Ian, and Colton thinks it's suspicious. What do you think about her speech? I thought it was nice to
I
like
thought it was very
honor a
nice.
gamer.
I
Like,
think I think Colton is just suspicious of everybody, and he was looking for a reason to put some sus on Tiffany. I didn't think there was anything suspicious about that. They come from the same game franchise. It would be crazy for Tiffany to not say something about Ian. You know, like
absolutely.
the
Especially because
what
she probably talked to him,
she
probably like
probably
knows
knows
that
him
he
in real
wants to
life.
be here. Exactly. Exactly.
Right. And then it's just like, and she was very sad to see her friend go. You know, there's a very human element to the Traitors as well. That, you know, when you're on, I think when you're on like high alert, everything seems suspicious. And sometimes it's just not. And then we all have our own like biases and stuff like that make us trust more people than other people and things of that nature. And then knowing that Tiffany was looked at as the mastermind of the cookout and things of that nature, like I think people are just probably predisposed to not believing her as opposed to believing her.
So Alan arrives and he just tosses poor Alan's picture onto the ground, and they're going to be thrown into the next mission. Disrespect, eh? You
I
love
wanted that photo. I want the one when he did Rob, I could have cried. Like it was not okay. Like Rob and Ian's having their pictures, their portraits smashed on the floor is actually insane to me because this should not have happened.
At all. Oh my god, it's like the next part. So I guess like what happened next is like they're all starting to talk into other rooms and stuff like that. And Portia says in a weird way that, yeah, I was the one that killed Ian. Like she phrased it, and I knew that she didn't actually do it, but I was like, Portia, you didn't even catch yourself saying this wrong, so it looks like it's just like, you know, Freudian slip. I'm like, but man, oh man, and Ron's like spidey senses go off. Dorinda, Tara, and Kristen, I believe, are also there.
Oh, this is tough. This is tough because it happened and it happened in front of other people, right? So it wasn't like the Candace situation where she completely made something up about Michael Rappaport, and then she was like, I didn't say that today. And Maura was like, I didn't hear nothing. Like this happened in a room where Ron was able to be like, y'all heard that, right? Like dude, other people could hear it. And she did say it. She did say it. Now, I do think that if Ron Funches knows a little bit more about Portia, he should know. Sometimes she just be talking.
Yeah, I heard that. I don't remember seeing this, but she thought there was only 265 days in a year.
She thought the Underground Railroad was a
That's
subway, like
real train.
and that's this. Look, fine as she is, I just don't think like I think sometimes she be talking. I think people who talk a lot, we misspeak a lot, and I will say that for both of us. I think me, you, people like Bryce, like just the bigger outgoing personalities. We talk, and sometimes we get tongue tied, and we say we know what we mean. But we've already moved on to our next sentence, so we didn't go and fact check. I think earlier, you said, and then Alan threw Alan's portrait on the ground, and I wasn't like Ian. I was just like, yeah, I know what you mean. You know what I'm saying? Like we just went on. But if I was like, that's suspicious, like to me, I feel like we're not given as much leeway as like the quiet people.
And like
right?
also like my brain's going fast. You know what I mean?
We moved on. Yeah, we're just talking. Yeah. So yeah, I don't know. I felt bad for Portia because I knew that she didn't know how bad it looked.
Bye, Kathy. Thank you for hanging out. Yeah, she definitely doesn't catch herself on certain things. She doesn't do an edit necessarily. Tiffany, Natalie, Colton, and Monet are talking. They all think it's Tiffany thinks it's Donna. Where I'm just like, probably.
So many people think it's Donna.
No game talk. Obviously, like you're gonna have to talk game. Like, why are you there? You can't just say that you're starstruck. Like, it's just crazy. But Colton is scared of the Swifties, which I told you that this could have been an option.
So for me, like, it's less that you're scared of the Swifties, and it's more that you keep effing saying it like every 2 seconds, being like, I love Donna. I'm afraid of Swifties. I love Donna. She's a nice lady. I'm afraid of Swifties. You guys, good boys, Donna. I love her so much. I'm afraid. Like I was like, okay, get a grip. Oh my god. It's kind of like by saying I'm afraid of Swifties and also I love Donna, that's going to bring the Swifties over to your side. Colton has a polarizing effect on people, so maybe he feels like he needs to get some people on his side. But for me, I'm like, I just kind of a little tired of like the glazing. Like, don't get me wrong, you don't have to target Donna, but you also don't have to be up her ass about it. Now I have a question. Donna is a secret traitor. We know that. We now have hindsight. Do you believe she plays the same way if she's the faithful?
No, not at all. I think that she would be probably really become friendly with people. I think that she would have been like chatting with them. Like I think she would have played the game better, like up until that point. I think she would have lasted longer.
You know
Because
a
what
good
happens with traitors is they become wooden, they become two-dimensional, they can't share everything. And she's not a gamer, so this is also out of her natural comfort zone. She doesn't know any of these people, so she's not able to do anything that allows her to become comfortable with people. And so she just seems like this like wooden older woman that's like just kind of on the periphery. So I think she would play better for sure.
You know a good game that tests this kind of like this idea that I just threw out? Million Dollar Secret. You watched Million Dollar Secret on Netflix, right?
Yeah, how does it go again?
They were
What's the
passing the box around.
Oh
Whoever
yeah,
had
yeah, yeah, yeah.
the $1,000,000 in their room had to keep it, and then if it got moved randomly or whatever. I like that because you would see how people acted when they had it and when they
Mhm.
didn't have it. And so people would be like, something's off with you because
Yeah.
you're no longer playing tight or you're no longer playing as loose as you were. Now all of a sudden you're more talkative. Did you have the box? Or like one woman, she literally tanked her game the moment she got rid of the thing because she just felt so much freer. Yeah, to just be able to be herself. I like that idea because like I don't know. Like I don't know if Donna is just all like she said, this is just me. But we don't know that. We only know the Donna we're getting, and it's not helpful to us finding traitors. In fact, it looks a little suspicious. And so that's probably why it was never gonna work out for her.
I haven't watched Puya's recap yet because he's probably going to be devastated as well. But Auntie's here is saying my point of view has really changed since listening to Puya talking about how they put her in a spot where she was alone.
Yeah.
Exactly. She needed
E-
to have support.
yeah, I mean, look, had they put her in the turret, even I think she
I
gets
think
more support, right?
I
Because at
think because
least
then they
that
would have
gives her,
protected her and been like, "Oh, it's not Donna. Come on, it's just like it's just America's
yeah,
mom." Like they would have more people would have been coming to her defense, and they
yeah.
would have dissuade people from like looking at her.
Because she's not the only one who's alone, but she is the only one that has this level of like celebrity. Like her level of celebrity is not the same as like because Eric Nam is alone, right? Like he doesn't know any of these people, but at
But
the same
like they
time,
didn't put him as a secret traitor, right? Because
exactly.
like he
And would
hard.
Eric Nam have played it differently, or would he been better? Because he's a performer, right? Would he have been better at like maybe playing it down? I think that she's in a really tight spot. I think they tried to give her as much cover as they could, but I think you just make her a regular trader at that point.
Mary is saying like Donna as a faithful, I can see her making final five. She would have gone probably far, right? Because people would genuinely have been afraid of the Swifties, and she wouldn't. She would be acting more social.
I think that people were going to suss Donna as a traitor regardless because of who she is and why she was on the show. I think that before she had done anything suspicious, I think Monet and Jam Jam were already like, so Donna, right? I think she was screwed regardless.
Then Michael at one point though says that, oh, I didn't know that there was a vote tonight. So didn't he say that he studied this show as well, or did he only know about the housewives? So like,
No,
was this a lie, or like was he actually confused? Like
I
what?
think he's just confused. Michael just be saying shit. I don't think he's
How did he get on
lying.
this show though? Like he's really a polarizing personality.
It's the peacocks, like I think the housewife
You don't like
connection.
him?
Well, he's like he said, he's an honorary housewife. He's been at BravoCon. He's like on the Watch What Happens show with Andy Cohen sometimes. Like he's in that community. Like as much as he like they're making it seem like his gamers or his housewives, he is one of them. There's a reason why when Portia accuses him of targeting the housewives, he said that's disgusting to me. Like I would have to be a piece of shit to do that because he knows he rode in here on them, on their backs. If it wasn't for the housewives, he would not be here.
Yeah, you're right. Okay, so then Portia decides to slip up again, saying like, if we kill it faithful again, definitely, I know what she meant, and like maybe like the group we here is just saying like, we had faithfuls in positions of, but she says it again.
And she said it in front of other people too. It's not like Ron comes in and he's like, hey, Portia misspoke earlier. And they're like, oh yeah, before you came in, she did it again. So it's like people are comparing notes, and it is becoming more and more clear that at the very least, if she is a faithful, she not acting like it. She's acting like she a traitor, like she's been killing people.
No, and I was like, is she the secret traitor? Like I started thinking that because I'm like,
You start to question yourself.
what?
I know she ain't a traitor. But damn,
But
she
like,
keeps
is
saying
she?
it. I'd be crazy to ignore it. Right. I would be crazy to ignore it. When we play like Mafia and stuff like that, the first thing they tell you in Mafia is you announce that you are town. I am a civilian. I am town. The first thing you do is say, I am not the Mafia. You know what I'm saying? Because the mafia will forget to declare that, and it's not like this, like all telltale sign, but it will get you voted out every time if you just don't say the words,
Eye of
like
town.
we played mafia with Rob, you and I did, and that's how Rob got his first argument. They said Rob was going back and forth, and Alan Lash was like, you didn't say you were in the town, and Rob was like, I didn't say it. We're like, well, you should have, and we voted him out, and we were right. He was in the mafia, you know what I'm saying? So I think stuff like that is like you have to believe it. And I think for Portia, she was so far past like the rules of the game. She was moving so quickly that she was missing like maybe the fundamentals of this kind of thing.
It's like you gotta declare your town.
You gotta say it. You gotta say it. If you don't say it, we're gonna be like, well, you never said, So yeah, but we gotta go off of what you do say.
Exactly. So we're on to the mission now. We see that Donna trusts Ron, and because Travis worked with him before in the past, I was like, oh, okay.
Well, that and Ron immediately runs up to her and is like, Donna, I love you so much. Like, okay, girl, we get it.
I thought I was gonna enjoy Ron more than I actually am. But how are you feeling about our comedian here?
I mean, I don't dislike Ron, but I don't love that he has come out here and immediately got the wrong read, right? Like he has decided to latch on to Donna, and that is just bad because she is a traitor. But also his wrong read led to the banishment of Portia. And so it's like personality wise, I'm sure he's fine, but in the game right now, he's not doing what I need him to do. And that to me is making me really not enjoy my time here. Or his time here,
His time here is your time here too.
Right, exactly.
All right, sitting on the throne. At the end of this mission, you're gonna get a shield. So starting lineup is Tiffany, Candace, and Carolyn. So Monet does eventually give Lisa a shield token, and so Lisa's on it. What did you think about this game mechanic? And it's also the same that happened in the UK. So how do you feel about the fact that the US mimics pretty closely the missions of the UK season that airs 1 week beforehand and doesn't come up with their own new things? Like this was something that they did on their season too.
It doesn't bother me extremely because I don't watch the international seasons, right? So, but I think the US is really banking on that. I think that for one, we're not supposed to be able to watch these seasons here in the United States. Like there's no legal way. Right, exactly. But in the US,
it's on Canada. It's on in Canada on
right.
So I'm watching legally.
Right. In the US, it's not legal to watch the UK shows. I mean, like there's literally no paid service that you can do except for a VPN that could get you that like other stuff, right? And so I think the US is like counting on these fans of the US version to be US purists, and they don't care that people go off and watch. Now, I'm sure they know that people watch the other versions, but I don't think they care from a production standpoint. They're like, okay, well, if you did go above and beyond, we can't stop that. But what we can stop, is y'all doing that. Like, we're not going to put it on Peacock. Like, you can't watch the Traitors Island on Peacock. So I think that's kind of like what they're counting on. I don't think they care that much. Because to me, this was a new challenge, right? But they've been doing this since season one. Since season one of the US Traitors, they've been mimicking the international versions for sure.
And in like the same order, like remember I brought up the Secret Trade. I'm like, I don't know if they're gonna do the same thing as the UK. They did. All the missions have been so far the same, if I'm remembering correctly. So I'm just kind of like, I just want it to be unique, and I guess it's unique to most American viewers, but it's not unique to Canadians or international
people in the UK.
Potentially. Steven, how do you feel about Steven being so chivalrous? He's like, he finds tokens. He's like, my mother would never let me live it down if I don't give the women a token or whatever. Like, how do you like it?
He is me and I am him. There's no world where there's no configuration of people that would have found Chappell sitting in that carriage. It just would not have happened. I just wasn't, like he said, I wasn't raised like that. I'm sorry. It would not have happened. Like, unless I knew the traitor was about to kill me tonight, it would have never occurred to me. But not because I don't need a shield, because I'm not getting my big ass in that damn carriage and making effing Donna, Kelsey, and Tiffany and little Candace push me. Like, what? Are you crazy? I think Tiffany at one point said like, well, we're gonna need some big people up front to push Colton big ass. And I was like, yeah, Colton, get your big ass out the chair. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like,
crazy. Like, he's in the front, like the first car. I was shocked. He takes Lisa Rinna, like teeny tiny, like 50-something-year-old Lisa Rinna, kicks her out, and his youthful self is like sitting on the throne and making her push it. Are you crazy?
I need
crazy.
a shield. Like, all right, whatever. You need a shield. I wouldn't have took. I wouldn't. I would have had to been up for. I would have had to been up for elimination that night. I would just. It would have been had to been true. Like, I don't know. And maybe that's how I lose the game and Colton wins the game. But to me, like, it just in my head, I cannot conceptualize me being like, all right, Maura, get down. I'm about to get in the chair. Jam Jam is not me. Jam Jam was like, I'm getting in that chair.
Yeah, Jam Jam does. Well, he does get it from Rob R. He does get a token. He does take it because he felt nervous. I can understand him feeling nervous if he's seeing, a gamer has gone at this point. And be like, okay, I would be nervous too. Male gamer, I would probably want one, but I don't know if I would kick any. Like even me, I don't know if I would allow somebody older than me, like kick somebody older than me out, older woman especially out for me to get a token. Like I just don't know if I could do it. I'd kick Colton out though.
Yeah. Auntie's Ashcraft in the chat says that Boston Rob and Bob the drag queen both said they would be in the chairs, and I believe them both. I watched them play multiple games at this point.
I think that Boston Rob may not actually in real time.
I don't believe that. Boston Rob getting in that chair.
He can sometimes be chivalrous though.
I've never seen that man be chivalrous unless her name was Amber Burkich. I think that separates like the cutthroat gamers who have won these games before, like Tyson too, as well. Like I think it separates the cutthroat gamers and the people who are sitting at home, like, oh, what would I do? They've been there, they've won, they've tasted victory, and they know you got to be cutthroat. I think even when in that first challenge with the caskets, Rob C ends up in the casket, but there was a moment where Jam Jam was right there. They're like, what about putting Rob C? And Jam Jam's like, I don't care, anybody but me. And I'm like, I would have, Candace protected Rob C. I'd have protected Rob C too. I'd have been like, I don't know, put Eric in there. I would just do somebody else's name in there. I don't know. Like, oh no, but that's me. That's not, and I have never won one of these games. So all the winners.
That's not like a real one. But
yeah, I've never done this. And so, and look, and even me as a person who played the one game that we played together, we played a couple games together, I won them all. But make no mistake, every time I didn't pull any punches. I was like, nah, I'm here to win. And I played the game. I wasn't protecting anybody. I was protecting one person, but for the most part, like everybody could get it. And so, yeah, like I say that now, but it's easy for me to say that from home.
Dreadful Ruby is excited to watch Tyson and House of Villains. Are we moving on to House of Villains? Is that what's happening?
I cannot wait. I cannot wait.
We just have to push through this because
over.
Yeah. Really, obviously we're still going to cover it, right? Mm-hmm. But it's not the same fun. We didn't get to see him cook, which sucks. So yes, Jam Jam does end up taking Maura's throne, and they run to the finish line. They're able to bank 22-5 again, adding it to the prize pot. They were super fast about this. They had 10 minutes left, and Jam Jam, Caroline, and Colton all get shields. Woo! Yeah. So go ahead.
They edit out Mama Kelsey like sitting out of this challenge because she's in it at first, and then by the end, like you just don't see her again. Like I feel like she might have been like, "Hey y'all, I'm 77," and they were like, "All right, we can, she good." I'm gonna ask Rob.
Oh yeah, that's good.
I want to know because they don't show her at all. Like, and you would think they just went however long like of this distance, and at no point was that lady in the carriage. That doesn't make any sense.
She was in the carriage the whole time.
At the very least once, you know what I'm saying? And for her to never get in the carriage, I feel like to me that shows that she might have tapped out.
Well, it's kind of like a grueling challenge for an older woman to be participating in.
They don't, but they don't address it. This is what the show. What I'm saying, like the show isn't like, okay, Mama Kelsey, you can sit this one out. I think that they show her, and then at some point they're like, all right, come on.
So Michael calls out Jam Jam for the fact that he wanted to get a shield. He put his token in the throne before Michael Rappaport could plead his case to why he deserves to have a token. Doesn't he realize that he's not going to get like murdered by the traitors because he's so vocal and so polarizing that he will get banished for sure eventually? But anyways, go on.
Well, I was going to ask you, what did you think about this plea from Michael Rappaport?
I told him, like, shut up, like get the shield then, right? Like if you want your token in there, like get the token. So I didn't think that he really had any legs to stand on. Like, why does it need to be a discussion for Jam Jam? I feel like he's kind of specifically targeting Jam Jam. Maybe something happened that we didn't see, but like, why not Colton? Why aren't you getting up in Colton's face as to why Colton's sitting there and like worried about being murdered or whatever? Anyways, the fact that he thought it was a discussion was crazy?
I don't know. So at first I was really annoyed because, like I said, I'm Team Jam Jam. But looking back at kind of the way he was looking at it, is it like this next leg is the leg that's going to get the shield? I think we should be able to say, like, who do we feel is most likely to get murdered tonight? Should we be able to plead our case so that we can decide who's going to sit up there so that we can get a shield?
Why did
Jam
they do
Jam,
this with Colton as well?
I think he wasn't there. I think Michael Rappaport shows
Colton
up.
was first.
Yes, I think Michael Rappaport was not there when that happened.
Oh,
I think
I
he
see.
shows up as Jam Jam is about to go do it, and I think Jam Jam does it to keep Michael Rappaport from taking it from him too. Like, I think, like, because Jam Jam is like having like the debate with Mora, you know, but when he sees Michael Rappaport running up like, I think I should, he click, he's like, not too late. Mary Duda, she was there at first. I saw her, and then they took her out. But anyway, my point here is that I think that for me, like, I understand what Michael Rappaport is saying, is that, like, okay, if we're trying to get the people who need the shields the most a shield right now, he thinks that he is a boisterous personality and that he doesn't have a lot of allies here. He could be somebody easily picked off. Now, to your point, Chantel, ain't nobody finna kill you, boy. You know, like, you fine. If they was gonna kill you, you would have died before Ian. You know what I'm saying? Like,
so annoying.
You would have died before Ian if we were gonna kill you.
You're gonna be banished, babe. Like, this is
we're voting you out. You're voting out, kid. You know, because the traitors are gonna love you. They're gonna love you. Yeah, traitors love you. You're a big old distraction. Okay, you're loud. You're out of control. But I just thought he was making too big of a deal about this. Like, I understand the idea that you would want to plead your case, right? Like, because again, it's not about like who found the token, because people were giving up tokens all the time. You know, we saw Steven give up a token. You know, a bunch of people, like 4 or 5 people, gave up their token. So it's not like, oh, it has to be Jam Jam because he found the token. Jam Jam didn't even find it. Rob R found the token, so Rob R gave it to Jam Jam. So if I'm Michael, I'm like, I mean, since we just give him away, I would like it, but I would not have done what he did, which is throw the biggest fit in the world. It was just like such a crybaby.
I mean, I've never been a fan of his, and so, like, the fact that, like, I don't like him on this is no surprise, but, like, I really just don't enjoy him. I'm wondering, do you think that Peacock and, like, the execs enjoy Michael, like, because he's being polarizing and entertaining?
People like drama. Russell Hantz played Survivor 4 times. Or true. 3 times, you know. Then he played Australian Survivor. People like that. Look, King George from Australian Survivor has played Survivor way too many times for me.
I did enjoy.
I'm not a fan. I'm not a fan. And you know,
I know you're not a fan of him though.
Yeah, I'm not a fan. But you know what I'm saying? Like, so the show the people on the show might not like it, but the TV people like it. The TV audience like the drama. I think like I said, the Bravo heads they're eating right now.
Okay, so back at the mansion, everybody's eating. We see Ron, Mark, Monet, and Rob C are talking. Donna comes over and they ask Donna if she has any ideas or any theories, like, and she's got nothing.
She doesn't pivot at all. She, like, because what she wants to do is throw Portia under the bus. That's what she wants to do, but she can't do it. Because she doesn't know who's like aligned with who and all this other stuff. But I'm like, you gotta say something, like something. And she just,
and if she knew who was in the turret, she might not. She might be able to say something else, like not maybe go for Portia, maybe go for Michael Rappaport or whatever. Like, go for somebody else, because I think that she's also playing scared because she doesn't want to piss off the traitors, because she doesn't know who they are. So I think it's a misread from production to not let her know a little bit more information.
No, I think nobody else gets to know who the traitors are except for the traitors. I'm okay with it. I really am. I just feel like you have to say something. Like, that's the game. Say something. Say something. Like, yes, she could use that moment to actually target a traitor. Well, ma'am, if you've been talking and playing the game alongside people, you should be trying to figure out who the traitors are. I think the issue is that she's sitting with Rob. Who else? You said Rob. Was it Ron?
Monet? Mark, and Monet. Yeah.
And Mark and Monet.
Most of the people were in her damn car, which is annoying.
Yeah, most of the people were in her car. And so it's like, so is she like at that point like, okay, who do I say that is not going to get me in trouble, right? Mm-hmm. And I think for her, she can't figure out a person to go to. Like, who should she be throwing out of the bus right here?
Anybody?
Right, but like if she says Portia, does Monet go tell Portia?
Who could she? Eric? Who cares?
Right. That's what I'm saying. I think that's her issue, is that she wasn't quick on her feet to know like who she should be throwing
You
out, because she
gotta
can't throw out.
be thinking about these things, though. Anyways,
Yeah,
she's
she
not a
can't throw
gamer.
out any of the gamers at all. Because Rob is there. She can't throw out.
Does she even know that though? She probably doesn't even know. Does she know?
I mean, I don't know. I mean, we don't know. We don't know. We don't know what she knows. I guess I don't know. But yeah, I
I'm
think
like,
for
who else?
her,
Yeah.
she needs to. You have to have an idea of who you would say if brought up. I think it's Monet who was like, "You got nothing. You got nothing. You've been here for 3 days and you ain't got nothing. You got to be willing to go to war with somebody. Like you got to be okay." And I think she can't throw Michael Rappaport under the bus, even though he's an easy target. You can't throw him under the bus because like that's your only ally. You know. I think maybe the issue is that most people default to just throwing Donna under the bus, and she can't throw Donna under the bus.
But I think that she should, like, I don't know, go for Johnny, go for Tara Lipinski.
I think like, Johnny or Tara maybe might be a good idea. You know,
Eric,
like
even Kristen, like just people that don't necessarily have a lot of people.
Yeah, no, I agree. I agree. Now I don't know if it's one of those things where it's like not believable if it's one of them. Like if you're like, I think it's Tara, is everybody like, girl, shut up? Like, you know. But
Fair.
I think that my issue isn't that she doesn't know who the traitor, you know, who to throw. Like my issue is that she wasn't prepared for the conversation, right? Like you sitting with 4 people, you got to have something to add to the conversation at least.
100%. I wonder. Well, okay, it's obviously because she's not a gamer, but what I would be doing if I was a traitor, every night at home, I'd be thinking of like, okay, what can I say in every kind of situation? I would not be getting any sleep regardless. And like, I just would be like, I need to figure out who I can say, who I can group myself with so I could look the most faithful like without giving myself away. Like I would be planning these things. So it was clear that she didn't do any planning of anything.
Yeah. Or practice not answering questions without answering them. You know, or like answering questions with questions. Like, who do you think is coming up? Be like, you know, there's so many options. Like, is it a housewife? Is it a gamer? Like, no, not you, Rob, obviously, but like, you know, like there's so many people to like go through. Like, can you just filibuster a little bit? You know,
talk.
Yeah, maybe Ron will save you if you give a little bit. Like Ron, you know, me and Ron were talking earlier.
Yeah, I do remember
some names out. Yeah, I think she just was a deer in the headlights. Like, you know, everybody's not going to be good at the game, and Donna's just showing that she's not as skilled as some of the people that we're used to watching.
Yeah, absolutely. In that position, anyways. So Michael Colton and Steven are all together, and Michael thinks he heard himself. Colton heard Donna. Michael, like, I guess, like, did he hear himself? I don't remember anybody actually talking about Michael being managed, but I think it's like he knows that he's hated. But did someone actually say his name?
Oh, Colton?
No, Michael.
Well, I mean, I think that people just throwing his name around because it's easy. You know, I don't think like he's heard his name being said, but you know, he had the heat on him. He had the heat on him from Portia, you know, and that like the housewife, that conversation did happen. But I also think like I'd imagine that he's not making a lot of friends. You know, I think that his reputation probably precedes him. Like, could you imagine like him and Kristen Kisher like bonding? I can't see it. You know what I'm saying? Like, I just can't. I can't see it. I highly doubt like, you know, like Mark Ballas and Michael Rappaport have like come together and like had like a heart to heart at this point. You know, I don't know. I just don't feel like maybe he can read the room. And I think if you have a boisterous personality, you also know when people don't really mess with you. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know, the people who gravitate toward you and the people that kind of repel away from you.
And maybe he was doing that just to get more information to see like, oh yeah, I have heard your name. Like maybe, he wanted to see if he can get some more info back.
Yeah, for sure.
And then our girl again, it's like, okay, so there's four traitors, right? Like there's 4 of them. Like, how would you know this, Miss Portia? Miss Williams, what's going on there?
If I'm Portia, I'm like, in my defense, there was 4 last season. Now what? I just assumed it was the same as last season. You know, like that's like, an easy mistake to make. But when Ron has all his evidence stacked,
he's like, he's looking at you, and now you're saying like, oh, do you know there's 4?
And he lied on Candace and Michael Rappaport in the cars, looking bad, Portia. When she said it at that point, I was like, Portia, God damn it.
As we get to the round table, so Natalie does bring up that Donna seemed stressed when she took off the blindfold, but that's not when it actually happened. It was when she, you know, it was with the box, but she probably did look stressed when she took off the blindfold because she knew that everybody's looking at her and curious as to like who are these traitors. Donna is all alone, which we know, but like this is not an excuse for you not to potentially be a traitor. And I think that Natalie even points it out. Like you could be lonely, or you could. She said something, and Natalie's a very smart player. Low hanging fruit. She is low hanging fruit, but also a traitor.
Yeah, it's baffling to me that Natalie didn't end up on Donna's short list, because Natalie very clearly was like, Donna, this don't take you out of the running. Like if I'm Donna, I'm like, oh yeah, if I survive this, it's your ass, Natalie. You know, like the Natalie getting back under the radar, or maybe like, you know, maybe like Donna not wanting to put all the gamers on the short list. Like if Donna's in the turret, I think Natalie is a very good candidate to get you know, X'd out as soon as possible, because so I thought her argument was so good.
So smart. Like maybe no, she didn't have a shield. I'm like, why?
Or maybe it was too obvious, you know, at that point. You know, don't you love the like it's too obvious to target somebody? Kind of like vibe, like we got into it at the round table. So if you die, people gonna assume that it was me who killed you, so I can't kill you. You know, there's a lot of that gameplay going on in the Traitors.
Yes, Natalie is Mother Mary. So then Ron decides to introduce his 3 pieces of evidence, situation, what she said, those 2 slip-ups, and like it's compelling. It's good. Like I would just have to vote that way, because it's like he had very specific facts that it's kind of hard to turn away from. And then also I can understand like Lisa's situation, where it's like, oh, she is a housewife, but she could be the secret traitor. Like, so what would you do if you were Lisa in this situation with the vote?
I did not agree with this move from Lisa. Lisa, you do not vote for Portia here. You could vote for Michael, because Michael will go and do the same exact thing that y'all are accusing Portia of doing. Ron had seen like 3 different pieces of evidence on Portia, and her definitely 2 times where she misspoke. But then Michael in this same conversation is like, yeah, when we killed Ian, huh? So you just wait a minute.
Slip up.
We got rid of Ian. When did we get rid of Ian? And everybody's like, you did it. So if I'm Lisa, that's my out. I'm like, hey, you were accusing Portia of that
all the time.
Yeah, people misspeak all the time. And Michael, it's been a lot of smoke. I kind of believe Portia, what you said about the housewife thing. You know what I'm saying? Like, there's an out here. Lisa playing a little soft. I was not, you know, like she ain't been really pissing me off as far as like her Traitors game yet. But from one cutthroat mofo to another, I was like, Lisa, this wasn't it. This was not the time. If you go make that move, you got to make sure it count. And I think that one didn't count. I think that was just it was a half measure. You could have thrown the vote on Donna, who obviously had smoke on her, or Michael, and got away with it. But you put it on Portia anyway. And honestly, Portia only goes home by 1 vote. So you are the game changer. You need Portia in the game. You do.
So we do see Candace before the vote does protect Portia, pointing the finger back at Donna. Donna pushed it back a little bit. The group asks for more evidence. Nobody really brings any more evidence. That's when Michael does his slip up. Who is we? Are you a traitor or bad faithful? Which is a fair thing. I would get rid of bad faithfuls too, right?
Yeah.
The faithful game is actually very hard to play. So we have the vote. As you said, Lisa doesn't end up voting. Well, votes in favor of Portia going, and unfortunately that was the vote that sealed her fate, and Colton is going to be out of this game when she stands up there as a banished faithful. She was a faithful. Her misspeaking was misspeaking. Ron did look default, like he thought that he was right and he was dead wrong, and he looked like he felt like crap.
They cut Tamora in that wig, and she looks disgusted at him. She's looking at Ron like, like we trusted you. Like, like Mora is like, she's me. Like, if you just shut up, dang. Like, I don't know. I love it. You know, not shocked to see that Portia was not the secret traitor here. But it is very interesting to me that the gamers all pretty much vote for Michael. And had they voted for Donna would have gone. They would have got a traitor. Portia still be here. So I mean, like, you know, just saying, like, everybody's been saying it's Donna. Vote for her.
Yeah, Rob does vote, said, like, you know, either you're a bold traitor or you're holding back discussion, which is very true.
That was his nice way of being like, either you're a bad traitor or a bad faithful. You know what I'm saying? Like,
you suck. We don't want you here. Let's get you out. And so she's a faithful. She walks out. Everybody looks upset. Caroline and Dorinda are pissed at Lisa because she turned on their girl Portia. Another, yeah. I mean, I would be furious if Lisa voted out a faithful. Or sorry, a housewife. Like, I would be pissed.
Yeah, because even if Portia is a traitor, she's probably not going to kill you. And so it's like, yeah, we'll get to her later on. That's what Rob and Tiffany's little meetup was about, you know, where he's like, hey, we don't even got to talk about it. Because at the end of the day, unless Tiffany's about to kill Rob right now, then there's no point, you know, like there's nothing you could do to stop that anyway. You might as well come in and be like, we're good. I'm not targeting you. Don't target me. And let's have a couple weeks where we can whittle this down. You know, you'll get a little smoke screen as a traitor, and I'll get a little smoke screen as a faithful. If we're both faithful, then look at us. Now we have somebody we can trust. So I think there's a little bit of like a understanding that you can get with people that'll allow you to play the game a little bit more free. And Lisa she just shouldn't have voted for Portia here. Like, don't get me wrong, she does give herself some cover, because if anybody ever reads the notes back, they're like, well, Lisa did vote out Portia, so maybe she is a faithful. But it's kind of like, it wasn't like you had concrete evidence on Portia, right? Like, that shit with Ron was crazy. She kind of broke the unspoken pact here.
Especially because she knows all the information. She knows that she's likely, unless she thought she was really a secret traitor, but like, really, I don't know.
Yeah, like, you had to know you were voting Portia and voting incorrectly. You know, like, that's the problem to me. Like, it'd be different if you were voting correctly and voting for Portia.
Right.
But like, to vote wrong on purpose and then to still and to betray an ally, like, what is the point?
Ouch. So bad. Our Rob was saying to Donna after, like, that she giving her praise for handling the fire so well. So, like, they had a moment. How dare she still not want to work with this man?
Yeah, I don't know. She thought putting Rob up would give her a little smoke screen. And I think, honestly, I don't think voting Rob out is what does her in. You know, I think to me, I think she should be cultivating these relationships with the gamers more, right? The gamers have already shown that they will be willing to target Erica. I just said I hated everything that Lisa did. I just said I hated it all. I'm not giving her no credit. But I think that, like, Donna has the opportunity to say, okay, the gamers voted for Michael over me. So they're more valuable to me right now in the game than the housewives are. The housewives are not going to vote for Michael.
Absolutely. Why on earth is she not recognizing that the people who
that's
voted
a vote
for her
in my favor, right? Like, the gamers have, for whatever reason, decided to ignore whatever logical reason they have right now to vote me out and to go after him. So maybe if I keep them around, we can still go after him. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I need them. If they're not willing to come immediately throw me under the bus, then I need them around. So I think that there was a missed opportunity right here, especially to make a connection with somebody like Rob.
Wait, you're right here. Hold on. Look, I'm going to look and see who voted for Michael. So Monet voted for Michael. Tiffany voted for Michael. Jam,
gamer.
Michael. All gamers. You're correct here.
And Monet counts too. Yeah, Monet counts.
Yeah, Monet's in the gamer. She plays Survivor.
Yeah, voted for
Natalie
Michael.
did vote for Donna.
Yeah.
And that is it. Let me see.
Yeah.
Rob C voted for Michael.
Right.
So yeah, majority of the people that did not vote for Donna voted for Michael, that were all gamers except for Natalie.
Putting somebody on the short list that didn't vote for me. You know what I'm saying? Like, well, I need you here.
Monet
you're with me.
And Rob, both on the short list.
She's not good at the game.
Man. Like, I would be like, oh my God, thank you so much for not voting for me. Like, let's work together. Like, let's get Michael out of here. Like, we don't, whatever. You know what I mean? Like, something. Yeah. Not like, you know what? Let me get rid of the people that want me in this game.
Yeah, you get rid of the people that want you. She's keeping the people who want her out. I mean, who want her out. Like, that's not going to do you any favors.
Wow. I didn't even notice that. That's so irritating.
Well, the other, you know, like the big brain of that is that, like, oh, well, maybe if I like put Rob up and Rob voted with me, then people won't think that I would target Rob. You know, like with the Traitors, you can always go the back and forth, the double back as well. But I think the simplest truth is there. Like, these people were not voting for you, so they're probably not going to vote for you again. Or they can be swayed to vote somewhere else. There's a reason why they didn't think you were valuable enough to get out the first time. Maybe they haven't moved their target from the person that was on the first time. Michael's still there. You have your smoke screen right there. use him. You
So
know,
maybe she's trying to protect Michael.
I mean, possibly he is in that housewife group, right? And she is aligned with Michael. But at some point, Donna, you know, Michael's one vote ain't saving you. You know what I'm saying? And like you burn Monet and Rob here, potentially. You know, so I don't know. It's not great.
Not great. So the Traitors do get a letter. They're going to have to do a murder in plain sight. They have to find tarot cards, and then inside the tarot card, hidden behind a picture frame somewhere in the manor, there's going to be a short list with their cards, and you have to choose a card of the short list and throw it into the fire in the kitchen. And if they're successful, they will be able to meet the secret traitor. That's what it was, a great time for a conga line, says Miss Candace.
I love Rob for calling this out. I love how smart the show makes him look. I love all of that. But as Erica points out in the chat, this is not in plain sight. They had to find the card in plain sight, but in the past, we've seen people have to drink from something. They have to hug somebody. They have to, do something,
whatever,
handshake, say a line, something like that. You got to get them to say something. Rob literally knew, hey, the conga line is happening. We need to stay clear of other people. If Tiffany or Candace killed Rob, I would be like, bet. He went to them people. He should have stayed away from them. Like, even when Rob was telling Candace, I think a murder in plain sight is going on, I was like, that's not good. That is not good. But Candace wasn't the one who killed him. If it was Candace, if Candace walked over and was like, pick Rob's card, he got to go right now, I'd be like, hey, Rob, you messed up. You know what I'm saying? But the fact of the matter is that Rob didn't do anything wrong. They were going to, when they saw the short list and it was Rob, who was on the list? Rob, Monet, Tara, and Kristen. It was always going to be Rob. There was nothing he could do. He could not stop this. This is a flaw in the game. Boo, tomato.
Yeah, that's what I was saying, that there should be you should be able to, if you call out that there's a murder in plain sight happening or something, you should get a shield. You should be exonerated from being part of it or whatnot. If you recognize something's happening, you don't know exactly what it is, but it's going on, there should be some way that you get some protection here. It's definitely a flaw in the game.
We should incentivize good gameplay. Like, I just feel like when you find, like you said, when you find this out, like had Rob, like, had this been a typical murder in plain sight, right? And there was like a chalice or something they was passing around, or they were trying to give, isn't there the one game of the Traitors where they were trying to give people like was it a brooch or something like that? They had to give somebody like I was like it was a poison shield, right? It was like a deadly shield or something like that, and they were passing it around. Yeah, and it's like, okay, if Rob saw the conga line and was like, oh, I'm not taking none of the shields, I don't want no part of that.
Exactly.
Like, I feel like that benefits him, right? But this was just kind of like, we cannot let Rob R get to that little picture and open it, and then
how do you know that is what it is, right?
They could have just killed him in the tower for all of this. This was just a TV moment. This was nothing else.
100%. But so Rob, as you said, Monet, Rob C, Tara, and Kristen are on the short list here. And Rob and Lisa decide to play chess to talk about what is going on here. Like, we see Tara look and watch them playing chess for a bit, looking skeptical, because like, why, like, if we're playing a game, why are you teaching me how to play chess right now? Sketch, very obvious. I'd be like, they are traitors. They're doing a mission right now. Like, there's no way that I'd let that slide. And how do you
I mean, what's more obvious or what's more sketchy?
Or the
conga line or the chess game? I think I'm letting the chess game people match like kick, but I'm looking at the conga line leader like, girl, what are you doing?
Well, I mean, be like, I know what to do. A conga line. Like, so where'd that inspiration come from? Like, I need to know, like, why? Why is now that moment for a conga line? There's no music. There's no festivities happening. Like, why does it need to have a conga line? Have you ever wanted to be part of a conga line?
No, not in my adult life ever. Like, even at like weddings and stuff like that, when it's appropriate.
Like, I'm not gonna do this one. It's okay.
Like, I think I hopped in one on a cruise one time, But to me, like, so I feel like I'm way more forgiving of Tara watching somebody play chess or even them playing chess than I am of like, hey guys, conga line, with no music. Okay.
Not fun. And sketch, like, it's just so sketchy. If I was there, being like, what is happening? Like, why are you making us do a conga line? Like, there's something going on. You're trying to distract us.
We've seen enough reality TV though. We're very learned people in this phase, right? So we've seen stuff like this in other TV shows, right? Where somebody has to make a big distraction or somebody has to do something and they just start doing something out of the ordinary. Where I guess if you're not used to that kind of stuff, then it doesn't ring
like, oh,
like
that's
it
what
doesn't ring as
happens. You can try to make good TV.
Right. But like me and you and like Rob says, we're like, what? Cockline? Hell no, something must be up.
Chess?
But I think like something must be up for most things, right? Like chess. What chess? What like why are you eating croissants only? Like what so you gluten free now?
Well, maybe why, Kristen, are you spreading the butter on that bread like that? Did you notice?
She's a chef, so I trust her, but at the same time I did catch that. I was like, Kristen, what? Is this a challenge?
I was like, is she using her left hand? Like, I don't know. I was so confused. That would be like, I'd be like, are you?
Yeah.
Are you?
Had they had to even tell like, oh yeah, Mary in the chat says like it should have been like they should have had to pick a card. Had they said in the game, hey Rob, come play chess with Lisa.
Well, I mean, she would never.
I'm just saying, like, had they said it, and Rob like went over and played chess with her or something like that, maybe that's something. But just to be like, we found the card in broad daylight, and now we're gonna burn it. Like he just was a sitting duck,
and just like from the hard part. Well, they were caught, and like there was no penalty for them.
But
being
they weren't caught.
Well, the being called out that there was something going on.
Yeah.
But like Rob was never in the same area as them.
Right. That's what I'm saying. Like, it'd be different if he was like, hey, you two, what are y'all doing? Like, I think at that point, like, Traitor, like, give him a golden medal.
Can he say that? Like, he doesn't know what's happening.
Exactly. Like, maybe that's what I'm saying. Like, if he had like saw Rob R open the little door, like the little picture frame, like, does that save him? Or is it like too late? Like, well, you'll never be able to out me now because, I don't know. I didn't like it. I hated this so much.
But Auntie over here would have gotten to the conga line. It looked fun.
I'm not touching that kind of conga line.
I would not. In a game, I will definitely not be in that conga line unless I am orchestrating it or, I know it's for my benefit, but like that definitely could have been a reason to get banished.
Yeah.
Or murdered. Sorry, murdered. So yeah, Tara's watching their game. So Rob C does mention the murder in plain sight, as we talked about, but he says this in front of Candace and Mark. Now, I'm wondering if Mark will remember this moment, being like, wait, because I hope it comes back. I hope he needs to be avenged in a certain way,
Yeah, but I think what's Mark gonna do? Be like, he did tell me and Candace, thus Candace must have been. It wasn't even Candace. Candace didn't even do it. So it's gonna like,
she would have done it. So it still could
point back to her.
It still could point back to her.
So that's what I'm saying. Like, you can follow any thread, if you want to. Like Mark, like I don't know, because like it's like cool if they say, well, Mark, did you see anything out of the ordinary? Like, no, he told me and Candace, and then he walked off. It's like, so like. Is it you and Candace? You know what I'm saying? Like at that point, Mark, you were there too. What absolves you from this line of suspicion? Is it just that you saw? There's very little he can do here. This is bullshit. I hate it.
But you know what? Also, though, with Rob, I think that he's intuitive enough to know. Like we've played games where when you're the vote, or if you're going to be going. Like you just have you can feel when things are going a certain way. And so I think that yes, he knew that there was like a murder in plain sight going on, and I think he knew that he was in danger. He just didn't know how to stop it. He didn't know what to do. I think that sucks. That you could be sitting duck like that.
See, I thought it was the opposite. I thought he knew that there was danger around, but he thought like, okay, me and Tiffany are safe.
Well, because he's hiding.
Yeah, like he thought like, whew, that was close. But instead, like it's like, no, there's actually nothing you can do. Like,
right. I agree. But like I feel like some of his spidey senses was his body knowing that it was him. You know what I mean? I don't know if he consciously knew that it was him. Sorry.
Yeah. That's a good point. Yeah, like that's just like animal instinct. It's just like something
feels off. So he's saying like, oh, murder in plain sight is happening. Yes, but I think also that he's the mark, and that's also I think what he was picking up subconsciously and like intuitively.
I mean, honestly, he should be thinking of himself as a big threat, and this is like Ian calls it the biggest backhanded compliment ever because there's a reason why it's Ian and Rob, right? It's not like but why not such and such? It's like, because they're not a bigger a threat as you are. You know, like you are the biggest threat. Rob is the biggest threat in that castle easily. It's not close.
So at the end of this episode, I wrote, it's probably Rob C. And
I was not there. I was in complete denial. I was like, "There's no way. It's not gonna happen." I was nervous, and
really?
my breakdown happened on screen.
Oh, I just said it was probably him because, like, it just with Ian going first, I was like, I just thought it was probably going to be him, and like I was already really sad, and I didn't want to remember. I think I messaged you. I'm like, I'm starting episode 3, whatever.
Yeah. I was done. I couldn't, because my shock was genuine. Okay. Like, I'm talking about, mouth open. I felt like you could see me processing it in that video. And then just like the moment of just like acceptance was just like, I was really like going through my head, like, okay, what's wrong with this? When Asia got voted out of Survivor, I picked that moment apart. You know what I'm saying? Because I was like, first of all, it's bad strategically for this person. It's bad strategically for this person. They could have did what Asia's plan was. They could have did. There were so many reasons why she had so many outs. Right? It should have been fine. With Rob, I literally was like, there was nothing he could do, and he knew it. Like, that's literally how I said it. I was like, there was nothing he could do. There was nothing. There was nothing. And that was a moment. That's a moment that I will always have to look back at, because it's going to be on Instagram forever.
I know. I watch it. Should we pull it up? I might pull it up.
No, don't do that. I mean, you can, but no, don't do that. I can't. I was so mad, and I was just cussing. Like,
oh, it's so bad. It was so like, wow, that sucks. It just sucks because he knew something was going on and he couldn't stop himself.
Stop it.
It's just it's definitely a flaw in the game, and they should have done something to prevent something in this moment.
Game
like,
sucks. I feel vindicated every year when the Traitors comes on, because I'm always like, y'all like this, but okay.
Well, yeah, we don't have so much skin in the game, you know, like,
yeah.
Not
since I felt disconnected.
Okay, let's blow through the last episode here. Show me your face. First into the breakfast is Colton, Caroline, Jam. Caroline thinks that it's Ron that is a traitor. And Jam wants Michael out, of course, because Michael just keeps on coming for him. So get rid of him. Like, not mad about that.
Get him.
Good. I don't know if it's gonna work though. I don't know.
I am team Jam until the wheels fall off.
But like, I don't know if he's gonna win over Michael, because like, I don't know.
Michael's such a good shield. He's such a good shield. He is. But if I'm Jam, I want him gone. So yeah.
Next is Candace, Donna, Mark, Dorinda, and Johnny. Then it's Natalie, Maura, Ron, and Michael. Who says big surprise? Michael here. Was it Jam?
Yeah, it was.
Tiffany does tell Michael about Jam wanting her to vote him out. So at the round table, she's like, I'm voting out Michael. Did Tiffany vote for Michael? No.
At the round table,
she did. She did.
All the gamers except for Natalie voted for Michael.
Yeah, I was just like, well, because she did vote for him. I thought in that moment I was thinking that she must not have, but she did.
She did.
Steven, Rob R, and Eric come in. Rob R thinks Michael or Jam is the secret traitor. I guess I could probably see it from their perspective as maybe being one of them. Maybe not Michael though. Maybe Jam. No, they really. But Ian. We always come back to the Ian of it all.
So there's a slim chance that Jam would put up Ian, right? Like, Tiffany would never. Rob would never. But there is a slim chance, because Jam and Ian aren't really in the same. They're not the same show. They're from the same like gamer. They should be protecting gamer. So you could probably squint and say maybe Jam would do Ian, but I would find it highly improbable that Jam would be like trying to put Ian up for murder.
Yeah, there's just other options. There's other options, unless it's to make him not look suspicious. But I think there's other options. Monet, Tara, Lisa, and Kristen come in. So that means that they're raising a toast to our guy, Rob C. Boo, boo, tomato, tomato, tomato.
No words. One of the worst days of my life. It's so hard. It was such a hard day, man. Tough.
It's brutal. Wow, Michael coming from Jam after like he just is so volatile and just so like, chill for a second, Michael. Just have some breakfast in peace. Mourn Rob for a bit, like, you know.
Yeah.
But then Alan appears in yellow. Go ahead.
No, Michael has no issue being loud and wrong, and that's just something that I'm just like, just leave yourself an out. He's like, I'm 150% sure it's champion. I'm like, okay, well, you're 150% wrong. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's crazy. Why would you be 150% wrong about anything, right? Like, leave yourself a little bit of like, all right, I
Right.
reserved a little bit in case I was. No, he's just so full of himself, and it's really hard to watch.
And just like and the tone of his voice is just so ugh, he's just so insufferable. Alan does walk in yellow. He does he mention the murder in plain sight? Like what did he say there? Because
He does. He said Rob got murdered in plain sight, but he doesn't say how. He just kind of like brings it up, and then that's when Candace finds out it's Rob, because Candace doesn't know that Rob was the one murdered. She wasn't there for the moment, so she actually doesn't know who they picked. But because of him being smart and all that good stuff, they're very happy to see Rob C was murdered.
boo. I
Boo,
mean,
boo,
she
boo,
was
boo.
happy that in the end that it was him because like the fact that he was on to that whole situation. But
Yeah,
like I thought they were friends. I thought they were making headway, you know? That's probably why he's talking to her because he trusted her, you know?
yeah,
Boo.
yeah. Boo.
Okay. Do we need any more time for Rob here or should we move on?
No, we've said enough. We started the show with Rob. We don't need to. We've been through it all. I'm just very happy that he got another chance to be on TV. It was iconic.
It was iconic. And I'm sure you
Yeah,
got like a nice little payout to be there. So at least like it was good. Nicole got to go to Paris, right? Because if it was like some sort of agreement that they have, like if he goes on a
yeah.
show, they go to Paris. So
Hmm.
it worked out in the end. Tiffany and Michael after breakfast decide to go and chat in the bookcase. Why is she being sketchy?
This is crazy to me. Like, I understand that she wants to befriend Michael. She thinks he might be a traitor or whatever, so she wants to work with him. This is not a shock because it's Tiffany. She did this same thing basically with Frenchie. Like, this is her skill set. She's good at like working with everybody, strategically at least. And if she can't work with you, you'll know because she's gonna get rid of you very quickly. But it was like the like sneak off into the secret passageway. Like, you playing kind of wild. Like, I just feel like you might get caught.
Yes, because like the only people that ever go into that book thing is traitors usually to talk without people
Yeah.
seeing them. So why are you doing that? Um, but they're gonna have an early round table. Why are they okay? So what's the purpose of them having an early round table? Is it because they don't want Donna to have to do another mission? Like, why are they having an early round table?
Maybe it's the murder, right? They typically do a roundtable after not long after a murder, so maybe that's what it is. I don't know.
No, well, the murder would happen. You'd find out the morning. They'd have a mission, and then they'd have a round table at the end.
Yeah, because Ian wasn't in the chariot challenge that got Portia eliminated. So yeah, I don't know. I don't know why they did so early on. Maybe it was Donna. I mean, maybe it was the Donna
You're
situation.
just
I don't
like, you
know.
know what? I'm tired. I think it's gonna be me. Can I don't want to do a
Let's
challenge.
go ahead and
Can I get a
I
row?
doubt it. I doubt it. They probably were very happy to keep her around. I don't know. I don't know.
It's odd. Well, we get to
Oh,
this round
apparently they did
table.
the same thing for the UK version, and you know, it's a copy paste.
Did they? I don't even remember if they did that because it ended up differently with like the timing of things. So I don't remember them doing that, but maybe they did.
Oh, that's what Erica said in chat.
Not that I just believe, but I just don't remember.
Mhm.
So Ron is defending himself at this round table. Donna's saying that she's fangirling everybody, and she's saying this again. Like she said this before. You can't use the same line again. It's not going to work. Tisk asking Donna again who she suspects. Donna doesn't really say anybody. Maybe saying Michael because he's monopolizing time, not knowing the rules. She finds that to be sus, which is true. She should have kind of maybe gone in on this a little bit more before, but now it's just looking kind of like a last-ditch effort. So do you agree or disagree with the statement that Michael Rappaport is the best looking, smartest, dopest, faithful? Do we agree or disagree with this line?
Not necessarily. I mean, there's a lot of good-looking faithful and doper faithfuls, I think, to me. But I'm not mad at him for feeling that way. But I will say this: I feel like Donna should have came in here completely throwing Ron under the bus. I understand that it's one of her few allies, but I think that the momentum against Ron was real. I think that people took the Portia thing very personally, because he was so gung ho about it. And I think that if she had decided to separate herself from Ron here, she might have survived the round.
Right. Yeah. She definitely could have said something. I don't think she because she's not a gamer. I don't think she could do that. I think she felt bad. She could go with the Michael thing. I think because he's just a little bit more polarizing. But I think Ron was somebody that she felt a little more akin to and like felt worse about. So I just don't know if I could see her doing that. But yeah, that would be the better strategy for sure.
It was also too late. Like people have thought this was Donna since the moment she got out the Jeep. Since the moment they picked the secret traitor, they've been thinking it was Donna. We've seen countless people. Like last season, Danielle Reyes got a bad rap because people were like, "Oh, she's playing such a bad game," because everybody was in confessional being like, "Why is she so dramatic?" All this other stuff. But nobody thought she was a traitor until she was found out as a traitor. That's why she got so far in the game. Nobody thought she was a traitor in their confessionals. They didn't say she was a traitor. They would just talk about like all these dramatic moments she had. And then when they did those exit press interviews and they found out she was a traitor, we saw it on camera. They were all shocked that it was Danielle Reyes. Donna had the exact opposite experience. Everybody in the house had said at one time or another, with the exception of Ron Funches and maybe Colton, and I think Ron Funches might be the only one who said like did not say that she was a traitor. Like it has come up so many times in this point. She had just run out of time. She just run out of space, and she had done nothing to disprove the theories. She just kind of been waiting on the walls to close in, and at this point, she had run out of runway.
So Auntie's telling us what Alan said at the end of breakfast. Last night, the traitors struck with a treachery most foul. Rob C was burned right under your noses. Okay, so at least I don't think anybody realized there was a murder in plain sight last night. I don't think anybody realized that at all.
Right? Like, come on now.
Yeah. And Erica says, my best guess is they had to film people tied to the trees right after the mission, so no time for a round table after. Yeah, I guess they wanted it to be nighttime. Like, that's a good point. Thank you, Erica. Yeah. That makes most sense. So Jam says that Michael never gives names. And so if you're a traitor and you know, oh, sorry, Michael starts singing that. Do you like this? If you're a traitor and you know it, clap your hands.
If Michael thought he had Jam dead to rights, then yeah. But you're not even going to get you're not about to win this vote. You did all of that for nothing. This is the equivalent of Janelle being like, Sandra, you're a traitor, bitch. like, okay, it's a scene, but you didn't then get Sandra out. You went home.
That is true. Okay, with the vote, so Colton voted for Donna. Donna voted for Michael. Eric voted for Donna. Actually, let me just look at who didn't vote for Donna. Michael voted for Jam. And that's it, right? Everybody else voted for Donna.
Yeah.
And
I
Donna
think it was
voted
like
for
20
Michael.
to 1.
She's 20 to 2 or 1-1.
Yeah.
So yes, Donna is going to be banished here. And then I was like, okay, so they did do Donna as a traitor. She's the secret traitor. Okay. Like I assumed it was her. I was like, maybe it's not, but like it most likely is, and it was.
Yeah. No shock.
No shock.
I mean, not even
really.
a little bit. I mean, like for the meta, it made sense. For the production, it made sense. For the game, not at all. But the Traitors is not a good game, so I'm not shocked by that at all. And yeah, the chat's pointing out that Michael is here for shenanigans. He is. He is the extra housewife. He's the bonus housewife. And so for him, these song and dance, calling people out, the reads at the table, that's what he came here for.
God,
he didn't come here to play quiet.
He wants to be on the Housewives so badly. It's so embarrassing.
I mean, he can't be a housewife, so this is the next best thing he could do, you know. So I again, if you like these kinds of shenanigans from the housewife, this is right on brand with them, you know. We've seen the clips. If you haven't seen the show, I'm sure you've seen the little TikToks and the reels and stuff like that. They're all about sound bites, and he's getting his. Is
he though? Are you gonna clip?
They're not. Listen, they're not hitting for me, but I'm sure somebody out there liked it.
All right, so Alan tells everybody to pair up after Donna is banished. Colton is now the traitor hunter because he led this charge on Donna. It's like, didn't I say he'll end up being freaking traitor hunter? Like,
you did. You caught it.
So the missions is that they're going to be in pairs. One of the person of the pair is going to be inside a cage. The other player is going to be looking for these goat skulls. Whoever's left in the cage at the end of the mission will be on the short list for murder. Poor Ron though had no partner. He just gets.
They didn't want to play him. We'll play with him no more. He pissed everybody off with the Portia thing, and he was good friends with Donna. So yeah, I can't trust you, baby. You got to be. You're up for banishment too. Yeah, I mean you're up for murder too.
So he's up for murder. So sad. He looks so sad in the thing. So running around finding this thing. So wait, the partners are Jam Jam and Steven. Jam Jam's going to be in the cage. Robin Mora's going to be in the cage for sure. She's like, yeah, you're anything that's physical, anything running, and you're doing all of that. And Rob's like, okay. I like that he just takes it.
Yeah, like whatever.
Candace and Tara. Candace is in. Is she or is it Tara?
Candace is in the cage.
Oh, it is. Okay. I'm like, I wrote it down, but I was like, I just didn't remember that whole segment. But she was out last, correct? Michael and Tiffany. Michael's in the cage after, he's like, if you want me to be in the cage, I'll be in the cage. Tiffany's like, well, you're going to be in the cage.
Yeah,
like,
you're in the cage.
I love that there is no, actually, he just volunteered there. Mark and Kristen. Kristen's going to be in the cage. Natalie and Monet. No, Natalie's going to be in the cage. Dorinda and Lisa. Lisa's going to be in the cage. Caroline and Colton. Caroline's going to be in the cage. Johnny and Eric. Eric is going to be in the cage. Searching for these skulls, stacking 10 of them. And so, wait, how long did they have?
I don't remember. Yeah, this was a blur to me. I told you by this time I was still thinking about Rob. I got nothing.
Nothing. All right, so the people that were able to get out were Ron and Maura, Steven and Jam Jam, Monet and Natalie, Tiffany and Michael, and last is Candace and Tara. So that means that they were able to bank $25,000, but Mark did not make it in time. I think that they must have come under fire for the fact that, like, oh, it's always in the nick of time, but they make it. That, like, they're trying to be very, very, like, okay, no, you didn't make it here, or like the other thing, like, oh, how do you know that that the time is up? And he's like, because it was a clock. Like, I think that they're trying to be a little bit more transparent, we'll say, about the time and the clock of these missions, it seems.
Yeah.
Kristen,
Eric, Kristen, Ron, Caroline, and Lisa were all left tied left in the cages, and so they'll be tied to trees later on.
Tied to trees, up for murder. Colton does think that Tiffany and Michael's situation is sus because they are working together. Michael goes into the cage. So, like, a traitor would go into the cage because they know that they're going to be safe, right? So, yeah, I mean, I can understand him being sus about it, but, like, get off of Tiffany.
Well, right? So Tiffany's on Jam Jam and Colton's on Tiffany. And Tiffany's point with Jam Jam is like, it's a good smoke screen for Jam Jam to kill these gamers, because you would say, oh, a gamer would never kill the gamers. So then that would give Jam Jam some clearance. And Colton's point is, well, couldn't I just say the same thing about Jam Jam? About you that you said about Jam Jam, right? He says Tiffany likes power. She likes calling the shots. And so it's very clear that Colton, at the very least, knows Tiffany's game. Maybe he watches Big Brother.
Do you think? I don't think I've ever heard of this. I haven't heard of
this.
He
talked about it. He talked about her as if he's seen her play a game before. I will say that. Maybe. I don't know. Maybe he made this up, but it was pretty spot on about her wanting control and wanting power in the game. If he didn't get it from Big Brother, he's either A, making it up, or that's the energy that she's giving inside of the house. So yeah. And I do see that the Tiffany stands are not happy with Colton right now.
I don't think they would be. So he should be careful. He's scared of the Swifties. Be scared of Big Brother fans, darling. Big time.
He survived Bachelor Nation. I think he'll be okay. Those are crazy people too.
In a different way, though.
Yeah, but they're insane.
This is different.
They're insane. I'm just saying, he's not new to these fan bases coming for him. I will say that.
Okay, Erica's saying that Colton says Ian was super smart. He watches Big Brother.
Yeah, he watches Big Brother. Yeah, I could.
Well, then work with these people then. Jesus. Jeez Louise. Okay, so yeah, Colton now thinks that Tiffany took out a gamer as a smokescreen, as you said. So now we hear, though, that there's going to be a murder face-to-face. So the traitors are going to have to murder these people on the short list face-to-face. We go back to the turret. We know that it's between Kristen, Ron, Eric, and Caroline. Eric is pleading. Oh, so we see them all tied to the tree. And Eric comes pleading for his life. How do you feel about him, everybody having their little plea here?
So Eric asks for mercy, but then says, I'll haunt you in your dreams if you kill me. Kristen says, I won't beg. I'm not a beggar. Ron says, you better kill me now or you'll regret it. And to that, I was like, hey, isn't it weird that Lisa's supposed to be tied to the tree too? Shouldn't she be like saying something as well? Lisa's supposed to be with them, right? Like, she also should be in a cage, but obviously you wouldn't tie her to a tree because she's a traitor.
Well, you saw her get removed from being tied to the tree.
No, she met them in the turret.
Oh, well, no, but she got removed at one point. But no, but yeah, it was before those lines. Maybe it was done out of order. Maybe she did say a line, and I don't. Huh.
I just feel like if everybody's pleading their case and I don't hear Lisa pleading her case, I'm gonna be a little suspicious of that.
And Caroline says, "I'm not ready to die tonight." Who do you think they're gonna kill?
You got to leave Ron in the game. You have to leave Ron in the game. You have to leave Ron in the game. Kristen, Eric, Caroline. Honestly, there's 2 housewives in the turret. They might not kill Caroline. They could, as oh my God, the housewives are being targeted now.
They can't actually kill any more housewives because then there's not that many left, and they're gonna assume that one person is a housewife, right?
A housewife is a traitor, yeah.
Yeah.
So they're gonna keep Caroline around. Yeah.
They have to.
So I think this is either Eric or Kristen.
I kind of think Kristen, because of the fact that they keep on saying that she's so smart and she's so observant and stuff.
I really hate this.
Well, because again, how disappointed she was when Mark didn't win.
Oh, Thomas says they weren't together on the trees when they were all pleading, so they weren't pleading their cases next to each other. Okay, cool. All right. Yeah. So, yeah, I think it's between Eric and Kristen, which sucks. For the Asian representation of the show, obviously.
I want to see more from both of them, and I feel like they just haven't had an opportunity.
Yeah, I mean there are more Asian people on the show, so I mean it's not like all of them are gone, but I think the same as you. I think we don't get to see Eric do this kind of stuff often, unless you've been watching Korean shows. Kristen, she's a top chef person primarily, but I would love to see her do something different. So I honestly, Ron can go. I don't think they're gonna get rid of Ron. I think that would be crazy to do, but Ron can go.
Ron can go, but I think Kristen's gonna go.
Yeah.
Just because she's smart. And I think that the fact, well, what would Rob R choose? I think he'd choose Kristen, right?
I don't know. I mean, he's
another guy. I don't know. That'd be kind of crazy.
I don't know. I don't know.
But,
I have no clue.
So my vote is Kristen, and your vote is either the two of them.
You go with Kristen, I'll go with Eric, and then I guess we'll reconvene next week when we decide who was right, who was wrong.
Okay, we'll do that. Thanks, Chappell, for
being here. What
if
we're both wrong and it's Ron? Yeah.
Oh no. Well, I'm gonna be happy then.
Yeah. Okay, but thank you for having me.
Thanks for being here on a Saturday afternoon.
I almost called in sick. Yeah, I almost called in sick because of obvious reasons. I was like, not ready. I'm not ready to talk about my boy.
No.
But yeah, pour one out for my boy, for Rob, for the boss man, for the podfather, for all that good stuff. And this has been so much fun. I know this is a long recap, but shit, we had
3 episodes. I think we did
3.5 hours of TV. Yeah, this was wild.
We did. I was trying to be as zippy as possible, but we both like to talk.
Yeah, and we had to spend at least 30 minutes talking about Rob. So
yes, absolutely. So I think that we did a pretty good job considering how much content we needed to cover. So thanks for doing it with me. Thanks for not calling in sick.
No, this is great. It was such a good time. I can't wait till Monday when we hear Rob's exit press and get to ask him some questions, or people get to ask him.
Did you watch him on Boston Rob and Boston Rob?
Oh no, I haven't watched him there yet. I got a lot of stuff to catch up with.
Really,
I needed a moment. Yeah, I just needed a moment. That's all. I had to mute some hashtags for a little bit. I'm back though. That's why people don't want me on these shows. I'm crazy.
Thanks, Erica, for being here.
No, this is so much fun.
It is fun, even though this outcome is not the way it was supposed to be at all.
No, it's supposed to be like this. No.
So annoying. Okay, so when are we going to do this? The people want to know, Chappell. When should we do this?
You and I have Flavor of Love, but now we're going to talk about the finale, and then the reunion special, and then I get to surprise Chantel with what is next in the Flavor of Love cinematic universe. But you have to check that out on my podcast, recapkickback.com, youtube.com/@recapkickback, where you can catch me and Chantel live every week talking about the Flavor of Love cinematic universe. And we're leading all the way up to a finale that is in my head. Okay, we just haven't gotten there yet. So if you want to join in, you can go catch our old stuff, catch up with us as we finish off Flavor of Love season 2. We already talked about season 1, and we got more Flavor of Love cinematic universe content coming your way.
Perfect. I'm thinking maybe Tuesday, Wednesday, or Thursday next week. Or Monday, Tuesday, or Wednesday next week. I could probably do it.
Whenever you're ready, I'm ready. I'll be here.
Okay, yay. Well, thank you obviously for being here, Chappell. I'm so sorry that your first forage onto Reality Realness it started off strong and then it immediately took a plummet for what we're covering right now. But hopefully the season will turn around and we'll have somebody else to root for. We still have friends in the turret. We have Natalie. We have we have Jam Jam. We have okay,
Tiffany.
actually, yeah, Tiffany. Who
Mhm.
like it does look like they're coming for Tiffany and Jam Jam, like they're fighting. Like, what's not one of them gonna go, right? It's just it's all a mislead.
I'm rooting for the faithful. You know, I'm rooting for the faithful. I'm here for the faithful. Hopefully they get it together.
Hopefully.
But
Well,
right
you
now,
heard
they're not onto the traitors at all. Let's just be very clear. They are not in the ballpark.
not at all. Not well, it's because there's also the Michael distraction and like the Jam Jam fight, like all the fighting is letting them not actually be able to detect what's going on. So yeah. Well, we'll see what happens. We'll be back next week to talk about this over here. Just make sure you subscribe to this channel, subscribe to Chappell's channel, and we'll be back next week to hopefully talk about something a little bit more exciting. I hope it's better for us, right?
Can't get any worse.
Can't get any worse. Okay, bye, everybody. Thank you. Ciao.